stopping me, no! You can't rock my man. Man, I'ma bring it to you. You can't rock my man. Watch how I give it to you. You can't rock my man. So let them sing it to you. Ain't no stopping me, nah. You can't rock my man. Man, I'ma bring it to you. You can't rock my man. Watch how I give it to you. You can't rock my man. So let them sing it to you. Ain't no stopping me, nah. Ain't no stopping me. I'm unstoppable. I came from the bottom, so let me show you.
I don't have a can. Welcome to We Need Wrestling.
Hold on.
Oh, I thought yours was already open too. There it is. That's sensual. Oh, tingly. Still
In all the right spots.
that's in one of the wrong ones. Welcome to We Need Wrestling, everybody.
You say wrong, I say right.
Well, potato.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
welcome to We Need Wrestling.
Hi, boy.
I'm DJ. That's Brett
Hello.
over there.
Man.
Sounding considerably less nasally and stuffed as you did last week.
Thank God.
Did anything happen with that? You just woke up next day, you were all good?
No, so I actually didn't work Friday.
Oh, because you're feeling so
dude,
bad?
I woke up.
Yeah.
And it was the most disgusting situation
Oh,
that was
yeah?
happening in my nose. Everything was
Nice.
like just
I
dried
like it.
up. And I'm like, ugh.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't fucking work. So I
All
called
right.
off.
Huh.
And then
I'm glad you didn't pass that on to me. That's
No,
good.
and then Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, bleh.
Okay.
But Monday I was fine.
All
I've been
right.
fine ever
Well,
since.
Okay.
So
A little cold, a little head cold or
weird
something.
fucking head cold for
Super
like
weird.
72 hours. That
Absolutely.
was all it was. So
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
Okay.
What's up with you? How are
Good.
things?
No,
Things are
nothing.
good?
Everything's good.
Good.
Working,
Great.
reading comics, watching movies.
Yeah. What comics are you reading?
Catching up on a lot of stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
What did I catch up on? I
You're
caught
gonna
up.
say these things, and I'm not gonna know.
Right.
What it
I
is.
caught up on Fuck This Place.
Fuck this place.
Yep, it's a horror comic
Okay.
by Kyle Starks, friend of the Soon to Be Named Network.
Hello.
It's also
Kyle
very good.
Starks.
Also called I Hate This Place.
Okay.
I caught up on Zdarsky's Batman. I caught up on Human Target.
Cool.
Yep, all these things that you know that you can
yeah.
explain. All you know, Batman.
I know Batman.
Yeah,
I'm down
you don't know
with
Chip
Batman.
Zdarsky, but you know Batman.
Nope. I have no idea who that is.
And like World's Finest and
Oh
Batman
yeah,
versus Robin.
World's Finest, yeah.
So, you know this stuff. You understand.
Totally, dude.
Yeah, you get it. Cool, man.
Cool, brother.
All right, good.
See, I don't know.
Great.
I don't know this
I like it.
shit.
But yeah, that's it, pal. Just hanging
Good.
out. Otherwise, it's day by day, brother.
Hell yeah, man.
Making
One
it
day
through
at a
this
time,
mild
brother.
ass winter.
I love it. God,
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Drinking some delicious cranberry juice on ice.
Cranberry juice.
You don't like cranberry juice?
Not even
Oh, I
a
love
little bit.
cranberry juice.
Nope.
You should be drinking cranberry juice. All them UTIs you get.
I don't get any
Put in
UTIs, sir.
Your nether regions and all the dirty places you put them.
Let's not talk about that. Let's skip over that
Cranberry
part.
juice is delicious. I'm surprised you don't like grapefruit juice either.
No, well, that's why I gave you
Yeah, I
that.
know.
Those great.
No,
Oh,
it's
dude.
like those are top 5 juices for me, brother.
Those are gross.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
I tried 3 of them and I was
Yeah.
like, this is disgusting.
Are we gonna have to do a juice pot? It took 3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to give it a try.
Okay.
Wanted to be fair.
All right. And the second one, maybe the conditions on the first one weren't pristine.
Listen, I tried sipping one.
Okay.
Didn't work. I tried chugging one.
Yeah, no.
Didn't work. I tried drinking it like a normal person.
okay.
It just didn't work.
All
And I was
right.
like, that's it. I'm done.
Okay, I like it.
I need to get rid of these.
I like it. You shotgunned one.
Yeah,
you
be
threw a
gone
funnel.
from me, vile drink.
All
Be
right.
gone.
Well, it's
But I did go to Target and I got the pink lemonade and the strawberry
Okay,
lemonade.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
I already need to go to Target again on Saturday to get more.
Yeah, but that 8 in a box is a spender.
Fucking kind of bullshit,
Let's-
right?
Come on, let's get this shit.
And
together.
I also I grabbed the last 12 pack of Pitch Black.
Oh, Jesus Christ, sugar free or no?
No, they don't have. Dude,
No, no,
they don't have it.
Yeah.
So those I'm sipping very slowly.
Mhm. That's good. That means the diabetes will come on slower.
I drink one and then I drink about 4 Spindrift to my one
Yeah.
Pitch Black. That evens itself out, dude.
Yeah.
We're good.
You know what?
brother?
Welcome to We Need Juice.
Yeah.
You know the thing about
I do need
cranberry
some juice.
Cranberry juice you should do.
This is not the first time or the last time that we mentioned something being juiced.
Oh, we're talking about juice later on for sure. You should take cranberry juice. You say you don't like it,
and shove it up your ass.
You should turn it sideways. No, you gotta dilute it with a little bit of water. You know what I mean? It saves on the
Or-
calories,
So here's another thought.
softens the taste a little
I'll
bit.
just go drink some grape juice.
Okay, grape juice is a better juice for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also more
Wegmans
expensive.
too. Wegmans grape juice.
Yeah, it's great.
fantastic.
But cranberry juice, get a big giant gallon of it for much cheaper than grape juice. Grape juice, much hotter commodity. Grapes are like eggs; they're skyrocketing in price.
What am I, a poor?
Well,
Yeah, that's right. Sip that fucking juice.
they're delicious. I love grapefruit juice, and my pee hole won't burn.
My peel doesn't burn either.
Not right now.
It's never burned, man. Dude, never. All right, go on. I was gonna tell an embarrassing story.
Okay, let's not do that.
No.
Let's get into the wrestling that we
Cool.
we watched this week. We have no news.
No, I don't.
No news.
If
Vince
there's-
McMahon's still alive. Nobody bought anything. Nobody sold anything.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that.
Okay.
One.
Yeah.
So wrestling.
Wrestling. We have a lot to talk about.
We do. I
Uh,
guess we'll break it down into
lots of
two regions.
right by continent.
Yes, two regions.
But we'll open up with a good piece of American wrestling.
Sure.
I guess because we watched a lot. I wish there was news. There's no news. That's weird.
No,
nothing happened this week.
Not that I could.
Nobody
recall.
died.
No, Randy
No,
Poffo was
that
last
last week.
Yeah, not that I could recall.
Okay.
I didn't. I don't know if it had my Twitter's all fucking stupid.
Well, everybody's Twitter's fucked up.
Dude, like when it gets to the
Throwing
point,
fucking
like,
temper tantrums for not getting enough views.
I literally had to throw like post notifications on, so
Yeah.
so for my friends, like
Right.
it's ridiculous.
What a mess.
So SmackDown.
SmackDown, didn't watch it.
The only thing I have was the end segment of Roman in the ring with Paul Heyman, kind of questioning, Sammy, and Sammy runs through the crowd in a hood, and he jumps Roman and beats the shit out of him and hits him
Okay.
with a spear. And then he gets on the mic and says, Roman, I never wanted anything from you, but now I do, and it's your titles at Elimination
I did
Chamber.
see that. Yeah.
And then Jay and Solo beat the shit out of Sammy, and Roman just talks shit to Sammy.
Yeah.
And he's like, you tried to break up my family, now I'm going to break you in front of your family.
Nice.
It's like, good fucking line, brother.
Okay.
So I guess it's going to have an Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, is that what's going on?
I'm assuming so, and I think
Okay.
it's only a couple weeks away. So
Yeah, I guess so.
And then you're probably going to have more from the show, maybe.
Yes.
But Monday Night Raw,
I watched all of Raw.
number one, you're an insane
Yeah, I
person.
am an insane person. Correct.
I actually have two things.
Okay.
I forgot. Number one ties into what we're going to talk about later.
Okay.
Good to see Shelton Benjamin on television.
Yeah, definitely.
Him and Cedric against what's her faces?
Yeah. Exactly.
Otis and
yeah, the Alpha Academy guys.
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
That was
As
a fun
MVP
little-
yelled at Chad Gable for not being Grand Naniwa.
Yeah,
Where he was doing the pose on the crab walk on the side, and MVP actually yells, "You're not Grand Naniwa."
And I made it a point, as soon as he did it,
Yeah.
to hit up Tim and Marcus and be like, Shelton just did the Dragon Whip on Raw.
Yep.
Because, if you listen to Final Wrestling Place last week, they're like, you better put over the Dragon Whip, and how fucking cool it
Dragon
is.
was a cool fucking move.
It's the best.
It is. It's awesome.
And Marcus said he's like, that may be like one of the best non-finishing moves ever. And
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
pretty rad.
And Shelton still hits it perfect.
Absolutely. The funniest thing, and we're going to talk about Shelton later, is that we're looking at a dude over 20 years and he had some breaks here and there, but over 20 years on mainstream TV, pretty impressive.
Shelton's the man.
Yeah, Shelton rules.
The only thing I have from Raw,
Can you imagine if Shelton came around when NXT was when it was Shinsuke Nakamura and all these guys when they were young, that first batch of NXT.
that would have been pretty wild.
Yeah.
The only thing I have is that Cody Rhodes Paul Heyman promo.
Okay.
Man, it was so good.
So I slightly disagree.
Oh, you're nuts, man.
So Cody is so disingenuous to me that when he comes out and the first thing he says, and he says it every time, is, "So what do you want to talk about?" And I'm like, "Get the fuck off my TV." And then the second thing he says is, "Did you guys know my dad was Dusty Rhodes?"
If your dad was Dusty Rhodes, wouldn't you fucking say that every chance you got?
Well,
you have the man tattooed on your arm.
I do, yes. But yeah. So I think when Paulie came out and congratulations to Joe on his tweet being successful this week about the Liars Club being in town, or Liars Convention.
Oh, yes.
When Paulie comes out, I think that gives Cody a little bit something better to aim for. I think, and again, I lots of talk about Cody all over the place about how great he's doing in the WWE and how he wasn't able to feel like this in AEW, and it's because he's not an AEW kind of guy, right? He's a WWE guy. As much as he wants to every week come out and tell you about how he bet on himself and went out and did all this other shit, he had some really bad matches in Japan and the Indies.
Well, like I said, fucking bored on third, they hit a triple.
Exactly. And that's so I'll always sort of have that issue with Cody. I think this gets on track, and I really liked it, and I like the sort of the stuff like when Paulie's like, before your dad died, he told me that you were his favorite son, but you weren't his favorite wrestler or whatever.
Well, no, he said you were his favorite son, but Roman's the son he wishes he had.
Right.
What a good line.
And I have very fond memories of Dusty and ECW when that happened.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it really came around, but like, I'm so bothered almost immediately by Cody's privilege and his, cookie cutter openings. And I'm just like, you're not charismatic
he's
to
built
me.
for WWE though.
That's
what he's,
he is, right.
And that's where it works.
Absolutely. But it is what it is. I think he did get a lot better when he has Paul to sort of play off of and shoot with. And Paul can also sort of take him to a place.
Oh, well, yeah, it's Paul. He's
right. You know what I mean?
Like,
I think Cody's good like that. I think there's maybe a guy or two in AEW that needs somebody to sort of help him with that.
Sure.
But I think Paulie was very good. And, people talking about Cody and Roman at Mania and how this really helped make it and all that. And I think that's great. And again, it's fine. That's Cody Roman at Mania. We all know Cody's going to win and whatever. But it's still the Sammy story to me that matters more.
I agree. I'm still firmly under the belief that it should be Sammy Roman at Mania.
Right. Absolutely.
It looks like we're not going to get that.
But if you're not going to pull on a short run out for Sammy, then Cody's the only star you have that the crowd's going to react enough to beat Roman.
Yep.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's wrestling. Sometimes you got to do these kind of hard decision nonsense things. But before that happened on this show,
oh boy,
talking about promos, Judgment Day comes out to yell at Edge and Beth Phoenix. Is that who they're yelling at?
Yeah.
Edge slaps Beth Phoenix in the butt, and she yells at him.
Well, yeah,
coming down the ramp
and she tweeted about it. She goes, last week, some fan took a picture of Edge slapping her on the butt. She's like, "Hey, when we come out for this, we need to be real serious."
Oh yeah.
So of course he just turns around, and slaps her right on the ass.
Beth looking good. So Damian Priest grabs the microphone and he's like,
"Your boy.
Every time I beat you, I'm gonna lay you down." And then I'm gonna enter the Money in the Bank match.
Sounds like an R&B song.
Yeah, he's like, and then I'm gonna enter the Money in the Bank. Wait, I'm sorry, Finn. I'm so mad. He's got me flustered. Edge, I was just like, oh my god, I feel kind of bad burying the guy.
Oh no, you don't.
I do. I do because listen, just stick with me for a moment. It's not an easy job what they're doing.
No, of course not,
right?
Man.
And it's made even harder, I think, because it's scripted.
Yeah.
So these guys are given words they have to go out and say.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Old Punishment is going to be any good if he was on the fly.
Come on.
But it's hard to memorize and hit those things and know that you're going to get scolded if you don't hit it exactly the way you need to hit it when you go back.
Yeah.
On the other side, I could not be happier to watch this guy fucking fail.
Of course, that's your boy.
He stinks. He stinks out loud. The match he had stunk. He's just a bad all-around professional wrestler. And then Finn's like, it's okay, I'm mad too. And I'm like, no. Do not.
Did you think Finn's Jamiroquai look over the weekend on Twitter?
Yeah.
Looking great, man.
Looking great.
I like that Edge had to drop the Jamiroquai
right.
line, and he's like, yeah, kids, go Google that.
Go Google it, yeah. Listen, I know Virtual Insanity, brother.
Yeah. I love that song.
But yeah, that again, I feel bad because it is a hard job, and it's not On the indies, you're just doing your own thing. You're not literally given a script. Yeah, Damian Priest stinks. And
Let's just say he should not be the talking guy.
No, why
group.
have him
It's
talk?
Finn. Just have it be Finn.
I mean, don't have him do anything. But yeah, have Finn talk.
Even
I don't
Dom,
understand
like
it.
Dom Mysterio, because it's like
Right.
funny, you know?
Right. It's super weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, I recorded it on my phone. I was having a good time.
Oh, yeah, I know. You were living your life.
I was
Monday
having a good
night.
time. I was really, really was. You have nothing else from Raw?
I don't.
So we finally got the Becky Bayley cage match.
Oh, yeah, I saw the end of it, and I didn't watch the whole match, but
Yeah.
people were saying it stunk.
Yeah. So I like the match. It's an pinfall submission or escape cage match. Damage controls outside. Back and forth, basic stuff, nothing crazy. It's the main event. I like seeing them in a tag match. They get to the top, and Bayley falls, and Becky's about to go over, and Io climbs the outside and knocks Becky back in.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, I'm glad Io got involved. But then, like, the cage gets opened for some reason, and it's like, why are you opening the cage door? And then Lita comes out.
Yeah.
And there's no build, there's no reason. It's just like, well, she needs somebody else. Like, there's no other babyface women in the back. There's nothing, bring Lita. So the end got, like, weirdly overbooked. And then you find out that the cage is open so that Bayley comes out to yell at Lita and stick her head out the door. And then she gets the door slammed on her and loses, right?
I don't really know many people clamoring for, like, a Lita match.
And
at
now
this
people are
point.
saying it's going to be Damage Control versus Becky, Lita, and Trish at Mania.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
can see
like
that happening.
to that, I say, why?
Listen, I'm never going to turn my TV off when Trish Stratus is on.
Right, but like, why not use the talent that you have? Again, I don't need these people recycled. I don't need a semi-retired Lita and Trish having one match a year.
Yeah, WWE's still in the habit of that.
Right. So I'm like, and that's the bigger problem here is that I'm just not in touch with this product. Right. I'm just not. It's not for me. It's not what I like watching when I watch wrestling. Occasionally it is, seeing Shelty tag up and stuff.
Yeah.
That's always great. But yeah, it just ends up being decidedly not for me, and it's why I don't regularly watch it. I'm not planning on watching it. I was just sitting here. We were doing nothing, and I was like, okay, let me just put it on.
Sure.
And I was excited for the cage match because I like cage matches. But yeah, the Lita pop, it doesn't do it for me. And I like Lita just fine.
Yeah.
But I was just like, there's no build, there's no grand alliance here. There's no like actual interest. It's just okay, well, they're gonna get a pop at Mania. That's what this is building towards. All right.
It's about making moments.
Yeah. And then
brother.
Bayley's on NXT the next night. That's all I have from Raw.
Yeah, all I had was Cody Heyman.
Yeah.
What else do I have from America? Oh, so Saturday night, because I was sitting my ass home,
Mm-hmm.
I saw NXT Vengeance Day
Ooh.
was on. So this is the first, the second, what used to be a takeover event.
Okay.
Because it used to be NXT Takeover, whatever. This is only the second one that they've done outside of the Performance Center since pandemic stuff.
Okay.
I watched a match, and thankfully, from what I read, the rest of the card, I didn't miss anything else.
Okay.
It was the first match. It was for the North American title. The North American champ is Wes Lee,
Okay.
and he went against Dijak.
Oh yeah, I saw Dijak's finger and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they
Real
kicked the shit out of
gross.
each other.
It was fucking really good, man.
Yeah, good.
It was a good opener
Yeah.
for sure. Got the crowd real hot.
Yeah.
Wesley won with a back handspring Pele kick,
Okay.
kind of hits the back handspring, does another flip, and hits the Pele on the way down. I think it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Dijak,
Starting all over on him, huh? Third time?
I don't know if they're trying to have him be a mix of some weird hacker and Cobra.
Okay.
Because he wears the glasses and the
He
aviators.
dresses
and-
like Emma did.
kind of, yeah.
She come
Sort
out with
of.
when she was tough Emma with the glasses and the gloves, the driving
Essentially,
gloves.
yes.
Okay.
But
Why don't
yeah.
just let him be Cobra? Who cares?
I agree.
Just let him come out and be like, Wesley, you're the disease and I'm the cure.
Just put your money on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes out and I don't know, his entrance goes black and white, and listen, it's better than T-Bar.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
what isn't?
I think the problem is, I think it's a reset again, and like you look at him and you look at the way he looks and how tall he is and how good of a wrestler
He was also
can be.
wrestling a little less flippy.
That's good.
Except he did do a moonsault off the top rope to the outside onto Tony Pepperoni.
Oh, Tony Pepperoni.
Yeah, and one of his goons was with him.
Okay.
Yes.
But like, I just, the problem with Dijak is that he has the personality of an empty pizza box. So,
Yeah,
like, when you
essentially.
put him on the main roster, he's going to be a big guy who just sits there and drools on himself.
Good for Wesley, though.
Yeah,
You
Wesley's a
know,
talented wrestler.
having that North American title after
Yeah.
the stuff with what's his face when he
Yeah.
got canned.
And the MJF came out and said
I
some stuff.
saw
And,
that. Yeah.
there is certainly something to be said. And when certain people stick up, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal. I don't know if it's going to lead to anything.
Probably not.
yeah.
But who knows?
Didn't he say in there that the allegations got proved to be fake?
Yeah.
Was that true?
I
don't know.
I don't know
I didn't
enough.
follow it long
Yeah.
enough. But much like the Briscoes thing, if enough people come out and talk about him and say that, whatever.
I know I saw a bunch of other
So,
wrestlers like liking
yeah.
it and talking about it. And who knows, man?
But yeah, good for Wesley.
Yeah, I'm happy like he still
Yeah.
has a career,
Right.
Because that
Yeah.
could have been real damaging for him.
I didn't even know he had that belt. I thought it was still on
I had no idea.
Carmelo feuding online with Carmella Hayes. Did you see that exchange?
I did.
That was a good comeback from him. Where he's like, I don't want something to get stale anyway.
Uh-huh.
That was the other thing that I saw was Carmella on Raw. And I was like, we're doing this again? We're doing Money Mella
Oh, okay.
and like, making her come out and getting her in. I think she won her match. I don't know. She's terrible.
Yeah.
And like Corey Graves, obviously they're engaged
Sure,
or married or
married,
whatever.
yeah.
He's just put her over like she's the greatest thing on the planet because of course you're going to your wife and she stinks out loud.
Yeah.
And she did the same. Mella is money, and I'm like, they're literally a dude just told you that was stale as shit. So
I can't be too hard on her. She went through some shit.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that's all I had from America that's non-AEW. Do you want to go into AEW?
yeah. So before though, I want to talk briefly about. Did you happen to listen to any of Mark Maron's with the AEW people?
No.
That came out today.
No.
So I want to talk about that a little bit because I listened to him like individually on the full Maron thing. He had the Maron Mark on Wrestling or whatever, and he did the final episode and then put it all out on the main feed as one giant episode. But did an episode this week with Eddie and MJF and Bryce very briefly.
Yeah.
And Eddie got a bunch of heat for it. People are Eddie's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And people are taking out and all these clickbait news sites are running with it like it's a big deal.
Of course, yeah.
But that's not what I want to talk about. The thing I want to talk about the most, if you didn't listen or you're not going to listen,
Was it Jericho Housen?
No, Jericho House, whatever. That's the cruise nonsense. Michelle and I did look at cabins though for next year. we get wildly seasick. There's no way.
Oh my god!
But they're not a bad deal. It's like $1,200 per person.
You're gonna get Michelle to go on a wrestling cruise?
No. We're talking about it. There's no cruise possible because we were going to go on a heavy metal. We were going to go on the Motorhead cruise a bunch of years back.
Oh yeah.
But we'd both get so seasick it would never happen.
Boy, oh boy.
I just like the idea of being on a cruise and like just being at this pool and like fucking, I don't know, Dr. Luther comes walking by.
Yeah, you're gonna be starstruck by how Dr. Luther.
Well, there's something else in my mind, but I'm not a member of the Grease Council, so that's not going to make it through.
Oh boy.
I'm
also not a member. I don't know who this Grease Council
I don't know either.
is. I don't want to be.
No,
I don't want to be on it.
But so Mark does his interview with MJF, right? And Maron sort of, if you've ever listened to him, historically on his podcast, he'll get someone talking and have it recorded, and they'll be like, "Oh, we've started." He's like, "Yeah, this is the show. We're here. We're sitting down. There's microphones in front of us. We're starting." And so he talks about he's gonna have Max there, and he cuts to the interview, and MJF is talking to him, and Mark goes, "This is gonna be like in character, out of character," and this is on the podcast. Yeah. And Max is like, "Oh no, in character." He goes, "When you tell me we're ready, I'm gonna become the biggest douchebag you've ever talked to." And it's just funny because they didn't cut that, so like it's sort of one of the rare moments of MJF acknowledging that he's not a piece of shit in real life. And normally I think he'd protect that a little more. I don't know if they knew they were leaving that in there or whatever. It's not a huge deal. It was just funny to see him, him and Mark are having a very casual, normal human being conversation. And then when he flips it on, he's like just big. And, he refers to his bar mitzvah as Maximania.
All right, get done with that.
But it was good. And they tackle even in character some serious stuff about, anti-Semitism and that kind of stuff, and Max's background and what he wants to do and all that. And there's some good insight that we'll talk about when we talk about him later. But I liked it a lot, and I didn't listen to the conglomeration. I don't know if they edited it down or anything.
Okay.
But the Eddie interview is really good too. They talk about New York and Eddie being like a steel worker and him getting in there, and he explains to Mark about the Cody thing when he got his shot.
Sure.
And but he does he comes in right after Max, and that's when he's like, "Oh, Max isn't here. I hate that guy."
Yeah.
And then Mark's like, "Oh, you hate him?" And because Mark's leaning in, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like him. I don't know why he's whatever." And he's like, "Oh, HR is going to give me an email now," and it's just Eddie stuff. I don't understand why people are taking this stuff seriously, which we will also talk about later. I have a screen cap in case you didn't see it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Mark is a guy who didn't have any interest in wrestling or understanding, but was like, I need a hobby, and his producer was like, well, let's get into wrestling because I love wrestling. And by the end of it, Mark's like, I get it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like, he goes, we went to our first wrestling show. He goes, and I didn't really know what it was, and I didn't understand the chants, but I really got into it. And he said, even watching it on TV, it clicked. He understands what they're doing. And they talked a lot. Oh, Cole Cabana was on it too, but they talk about how comedians and wrestlers sort of share the travels and wrestling in working shitty places for little pay until you get your break, and all the bad promoters and all that sort of shit. So they're really cool interviews. I know Marin isn't everyone's specific taste. I know he grinds on a lot of people, but I happen to like him. So I like these interviews, and I like Eddie a lot. So like I said this week, I would literally take a bullet for Eddie Kingston.
If I get some time, I'll go back and listen to it. So
it's what it is.
So that reminds me. Malachi Black, he dropped with Hardlore today.
Oh yeah,
talking about hardcore and wrestling and shit. So I have to listen to that
Has
too.
he ever had a band?
No.
You think he would?
But he does bring up No Turning Back, and that makes me real happy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, from the little clip I saw.
Wild.
And then he just says, he's like, yeah, there's still a ton I want to do. He's like, I want to do trio stuff right now with House of Black.
Yeah.
He goes, but I still want to do tag stuff with Brody. I want
Right.
to do single stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, I just want to do everything. So,
Okay.
which I guess we'll leave that into Rampage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we fucking have to, man.
Yeah. Number one, this episode kind of sucked.
This is an embarrassment. This is the number one thing.
Not good.
This was the number one thing I wanted to talk about on this show, and it set the tone for how I felt about wrestling for the rest of the week. And I watched this Saturday, maybe.
I think I watched it Sunday.
This is an embarrassing hour of TV for wrestling.
It's real bad. I guess if you want to elaborate on anything, go ahead. But
right,
the Elite Firm match
it was a dark match. It sucked.
Yeah, not good.
Right.
Swerve Brian Pillman sucked.
Pillman's terrible.
It's just not good.
Terrible. And with his fucking steroid gut now, too.
I know, yeah.
Terrible.
He's got steroid gut, and he's trying to be he looks like a shindy Kenny Omega.
Yeah. It's terrible.
That's just what he looks like.
Absolutely terrible. Man.
The House of Black Kingston stuff.
They don't want Eddie, they're just done.
Dude, what are we doing?
We broke Eddie apart, and that's all we need.
Yeah.
And Eddie's and Eddie was like, I don't need anybody. I'm fine. And if it's to get Eddie back to sort of crazy wild card fighting anybody, sort of on the card, it's fine. But what are you doing with Ortiz? What's the deal with Santana? What's going on with all of that?
I know Santana's still, with
but
the
just
knee
to
and
drop
stuff.
it and be like, yeah, we're good. We just wanted to fuck with them. That was it. There's no wrestling match going to happen.
I mean, it's fucking weird, dude.
The women's tag was just another enhancement match.
Sucked
out loud. And then Glory Hound Daniels Roosh.
Dude, this was a match I watched through my phone. I'll be honest.
Right, because
I don't care.
This was honestly we talked about it. They've been on such a great run, booking all of these shows. The Rampage was the Orange Cassidy show, and he's back this week. I think they said he's defending the title again. But Dynamites have been so good. Rampages have been really good. They've been loading them, and then this happens. This is I was pissed. I was honestly pissed off.
It was bad. It was a bad episode of wrestling television.
It is embarrassing. It's insulting that you've been doing so good and giving us such great matches for free on TV, and this is what you give us on Rampage. Immediately go, if you look at this card and you look at this show, Tony Khan had to have known it was going to stink out loud.
There's usually something from each episode I can say, okay, that was good. This was completely skippable. Like I'm kind of mad I watched it.
It's completely skippable. Nothing furthers anything. Anything is just dropped, so it doesn't even matter that you see it.
Yeah.
You get a Cole promo. You get the Jarrett promo with Danhausen where he's like, I was hit with a Grammy, which is the funniest thing on the show.
It really was. That was the best thing on the show.
But like everything, it was an embarrassment to put this on TV. It honestly was. This set the tone because I was like, fuck you, Tony Khan. Like, this is bad. Like, what's going on that you wrote this down in your notebook and you thought this was okay to put on TV? This stinks. This is why people are like, and like I don't sort of subscribe to this philosophy, but when people are like, oh, there'll never be WWE, coked up Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing, I'm like, yeah, this is bad business.
Yeah, like this shit is not. This shit is like dark.
It was worse than a dark episode. I think at least the dark episodes have had the Outrunners.
Dude, the Outrunners.
I think the Outrunners are gonna get signed.
Probably.
They had him beat another jobber team this week.
Like that one promo I saw was like, we're the youngest guys in the game or something. And fuck yeah. More of that type of shit,
but
dude.
God, I was so mad and insulted. Like, I was honestly like, this fucking sucks, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Like, this is an embarrassing piece of TV.
Yeah.
And none of this should have got through.
Real bad.
When you write, I'm gonna take a show that's getting TV time and ad time. If I was an advertiser, I'd ask for my money back. Because you're like, oh, Brian Pillman Jr. What?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Else?
You have nobody else on that fucking roster? There's no other match you can put together.
I get it. Like, now they're doing the whole thing where Swerve wants to take out the second and third generation. I understand that.
Right. So now we're going to get a stable that's Brock Anderson, Dustin Rhodes leading it with Pillman Jr. and I don't know.
And Orn as the
and like I don't know, is there anybody else's kids in this company?
Well, the Guns.
The Guns.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree, man. It was very like, this sucks.
All right, what's your next? Or are you done? Rampage is over?
Yeah, that's
whole thing sucked.
Whole thing sucked. We'll go to Dynamite.
Yes.
MJF versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah. So I'm pissed off going into this because of Rampage.
Okay.
I'm like, you're gonna give me that kind of Rampage. What the fuck are you gonna do for Dynamite? But I was like, all right, well, but Takeshida's gonna win because it's an eliminator match. The nobody has beat a champion in an eliminator match yet. So like,
which is false.
There's who's won an eliminator?
Yamashita beat Thunder Rosa.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Who? I mean that about Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
But like, if I was like, okay, the storyline wise, this is if there's a time to pull the trigger on one, you do it with this hot new star who you're trying to build, who looks like you're going to build up pretty high, and you got a couple weeks before the pay-per-view, so you can give Max something to do without laying hands on Danielson for a couple weeks that the fans will be engaged in. So I was like, pissed at you, Tony Khan, but we can turn this around real quick. And I'm watching this match, and this crowd is insane.
Yeah, dude, the match itself was like
and
really, really good.
The match is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm watching this match, and I've said it on the show before. Danielson, they're teasing that hour-long Iron Man, which is going to happen now. They've made that official. More on that in a bit. I was like, Max can't fucking do that. And I watched this match. I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like, Max is selling for him, bumping around. Takeshita looks great. They're doing psychology. They're working this great fucking match. Max came to do business, and then he wins clean.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and like if Takeshita had won, it would have been a Takeshita pop from now on. That the roof would have came off that building. It would have went banana multiple times over. And it doesn't. And the crowd boos like crazy. And I get all their weight is behind Max.
It has to be.
Right. But if you're not gonna have Takeshita beat him here, and I think Max loses nothing by losing to Takeshita. I think Takeshita gets stalled a little bit by losing here.
Yeah, it gives Takeshita that little bit of a role of Danielson. They're like, hey, buddy, hey,
Right.
little buddy.
Right.
At first, I was kind of going like back and forth about it because, again, match was fantastic.
Yeah, they looked
I
great.
thought
Yeah,
they they were both great. Max carried his fucking weight.
Yeah, for sure. Better than I thought he could be in a match. For real.
And you get to the point where it's like, okay, he's like your big bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now in that company you have another big bad guy with Samoa Joe, and you have two emerging bad guys who can be huge with Swerve and Roosh.
Okay.
I think that's your four big bad guys right now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because you look at MJF and you go, listen, if he can't do his part in the ring,
Right.
and you can't give him like a win where it shows that, hey, he can beat somebody, that takes a little snot out of him. But at the same time, it's like he's supposed to be the shitty heel champion, and he's supposed to cheat, and you're supposed to like hate him.
Yeah.
And I found myself kind of in the middle where I was like, him straight up winning, like I get you have to make him look credible in a ring,
Sure.
especially when he's like going to be going up against Danielson. But at the same time, like he's supposed to be the ultimate chicken shit,
Right.
And it's just I felt like kind of in the middle on it.
Yeah. So I don't want to. Thankfully, this is a podcast, and we won't get a Twitter warning for this.
Oh boy.
But so if Takeshita isn't going to win, it's fine. I get it. You're right. Max shouldn't win clean.
Yeah, it's
Because here's the thing, is like, even though Max is showed up in this match, he's still the bad guy. So when he's going into the Iron Man match against Danielson, he still should be expected to cheat because he's a bad guy. And then, jumping ahead, which we'll get to in a bit too, but like, he then later in the show in his second segment cuts a promo about doing anything possible to win. Whatever I need to do to win, I'm going to do it. I'm the dirtiest player. Yeah. Whatever cheating, whatever lying, whatever underhanded thing I can do to win, I'm going to do it. But 10 minutes ago, you beat a young uprising star clean in the middle, and it's like, no, have him cheat at least, because then when the boos happened at the end of this match, not because they hated Max, but because Max won. If you cheated to win, then he's upped even more. Yeah,
and I probably would have had him cheat to win. Yeah.
The heels are supposed to cheat to win.
Sure.
And Cody Rhodes just said, well, there's no heels and faces. Well, if there's no heels and faces, then there's no drama in fucking wrestling matches. Somebody, at least in wrestling theory and psychology, has to adopt the one side or the other. And Max is a heel. Takeshita is as fucking babyface as you can absolutely get. He's already worked over the arm. Have him cheat a little more.
Yeah.
Who cares? That does nothing, and that keeps Takeshita's heat. And you could run that back down the line. Now you can't run this back, even if you wanted to. So I was just bummed by that, but this match was awesome.
Yeah, and even like afterwards, MJF getting brutal and busting him open and stuff. I'm like, that's good. Like, that's better, what you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. Better in the ring than I thought Max was capable of.
It's like when it comes down to it, when he gets the upper hand, he's supposed to be ruthless.
Right.
That's what, and I like that.
Joe had made, and I made the joke about Twitter because he made the joke about Flair being a chicken shit heel. Flair rarely, when he was a bad guy, rarely won clean.
Yeah.
Because you're just not supposed to.
No.
You're not supposed to. Wrestling's easy. You're not supposed to. I don't care if it's a cliche. You're not supposed to. And we all know that Max has beaten Danielson. It's fine that we know that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine that we know that. It does not take anything out of the match for me. But getting there, you can play with us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they're not. Yeah. And like, is Max going to cheat in the Danielson match? He absolutely is, because Bryan Danielson is the goddamn best professional wrestler of the last 25, 20, 30. I don't give a shit.
More on that.
But I'm along for the story. It's fine. One of the first things I ever taught Michelle about wrestling that she likes to repeat to me is people pay more money to watch the bad guy lose than the good guy win. And that's where
money's in the chase.
And that's where you have power in Max. Mm-hmm. But the chase is much more interesting if Takeshita wins this eliminator and is looming over Max on the back end of it, or Takeshita loses due to cheating and has a legitimate gripe with your heel champion. Because Takeshita is a massive star right now. He is on the rise.
Yeah, he's on the rise.
They love him. He's connected so well. everything he does is crisp. He's a remarkable professional wrestler, and he is sort of just little buddy right now. And I think that's great.
Yeah, I can't get the meaningful wins yet.
Speaking of meaningful wins,
Jamie Hayter versus the Bunny.
absolutely.
I'll say this. I hope the Bunny's okay.
I hope the Bunny's okay. I watched it back because I got the heebie-jeebies when it happened, and Michelle was out sitting with me, and she's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I hope Bunny's okay."
Yeah.
And she's like, "What happened?" We watched it back, and she takes it on her forehead a little bit. I think she's fine. Just a mistimed miscommunication, and Hayter tried to yeet her over anyway. And listen, I get it. It's either trying to yeet her over anyway, or just like do the old no mercy when you accidentally run into each other and you don't want that to happen.
No.
So I get it. But I hope she's okay. I don't think that match was going to be knocking anyone's fucking socks off anyway.
Me neither.
But they went to it short. They went to the finish early. You can tell because commentary didn't know what the fuck to do.
No,
the next segment wasn't loaded up in their ears.
Not yet.
But yeah, it is unfortunate. But it is what it is. And then on top of that, to really get over as meaningful heels, Saraya and Tony Storm.
Oh my god, dude!
They jump pure white meat, top 10 baby face in the back. Leva Bates. Remember Leva Bates?
This, like green spray painting L's.
Remember Leva Bates? Everybody, you're really gonna get behind. You're really gonna boo these bad guys when they jump. The person you haven't seen on TV in 2 years, Leva Bates. Remember the librarian?
Old blue pants.
Remember that? Remember the librarians? Remember a pretty Peter Avalon? Remember all that stuff?
Sure do,
yeah, that's
friend.
really these dastardly heels really gonna get one over on the white meat baby faces in this company. Again, poor Toni Storm. She's trying. Saraya is trying to, but is incapable of doing anything. What a miss. I do not blame the signing.
No.
But you got to pull the plug on this thing some point.
It's just
right.
Yeah, not good,
but,
man.
Yeah, especially because she's also constantly fighting with the people who are going after her boyfriend.
I saw her like weird Twitter shit this week, and I'm just like, please go away.
Right, just go away.
Stop.
Right.
Then you have the MJF promo.
Right, the aforementioned one where he says, "I'll do anything possible."
Yeah.
And then I also framed a black lady for a car crash.
Is that what you got out of it?
I mean, that's what he says.
Okay, that's what you took from
It's what he says.
Okay.
It's jarring, is what this promo was. I don't want to say it's bad.
I didn't think it was bad.
I think it's weird. It's a weird promo to cut.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird story to tell.
It's a little off the wall.
Yeah.
But once he makes the point and like then he turns it on.
Right.
I'm like, fuck,
yes.
man, there it is. Fuck.
It was weird to be like him on TV going, I was getting a blowjob. You ever like he described like the first like chapter of Stephen King's Thinner minus the Gypsy Curse. And
I just wanted to start singing "Oh Where Can My Baby Be?"
Right, like it's super weird, like jarring for him to do all that. And then the end, like you get it. He's like, I'm a scumbag. We know you're a scumbag.
Yeah,
super weird to admit to almost vehicular homicide.
Well,
very, very odd choice of a promo.
It was like kind of like a
delivery.
It was weird.
A+ delivery.
Yes.
C+ content.
Fuck, like, I wish it was every week.
Yeah.
Like, if that's him, like...
Short, reined in.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Man, because he could, like, again, when he turns it on...
Right.
And he gets, like, that real intense...
Yeah.
He's
and
good.
And my biggest takeaway is, I jest about all the other stuff. My biggest takeaway is that he cuts a promo about doing whatever it takes to win, but then beats a guy, doesn't cheat to win in the last match. So it's like, okay, all right. But this isn't meant to be sort of highlighted in the last match. It's foreshadowing for what's going to happen later in the show.
Yes.
So
things that happen next on the show.
The gauntlet thinger.
Dude, this shit sucks. I'm sorry. It sucks. It's bad. It's fucking bad.
Right.
Starks got caught by the Jericho fucking virus, man.
Right.
This sucks.
Tony Khan's notebook.
Ricky Starks is cooled off.
I don't know if he's if he's at the end of the notebook or whatever it is, but it ain't great.
I already saw people like, that's what you get for showing up to the Royal
Right.
Rumble to support your friend.
Right.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
So
it just sucks.
Right.
It's not good.
It's not good. But it's the same thing that happened.
We do the same shit.
Well, because what happened? What happened to Eddie after Jericho?
Exactly.
He cooled off.
Everything.
Jericho's
after,
poison, right?
Yeah.
The only people who come out better after Jericho programs is Jericho.
Yeah. This sucked. Like, as soon as they're like trying to sell, who was that guy in the mask? That hit him? Like, if you're a fucking wrestling fan, you know, like, come on, brother.
Right. You can see that chest through the t-shirt.
Yeah. It just it sucks. So Ricky Stark, it
sucks. He runs right through 2.0. Which I get from a storytelling standpoint, but I kind of wanted to watch him wrestle 2.0 because those guys don't wrestle and they're both very good.
Is Daddy Magic hurt?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. And then we get he's wrestling. Is it Sammy?
Was he supposed to wrestle Hager too?
Yeah. I don't understand. He was supposed to wrestle all of them, I thought.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Then the end was either going to be Garcia or Sammy.
And then he gets the kind of a Judas effect from the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, it's like a Kiss Demon mask. I thought it was a Mil Mascaris mask at first, but it's like Kiss Demon paint.
It's a Gene Simmons mask.
Yeah, it's a Gene Simmons mask.
Yeah, though, it's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. You're right.
Ricky's...
It's so wild. Ricky's cooled off.
Yeah, again.
Hobbs isn't on TV every week.
No, and when
Wardlow
like it's going to be okay.
This week.
Ricky Jericho at the pay-per-view, and what if Ricky beats him? I'm just like, okay,
right. Well, we had
Ricky was fucking red hot, man, with that MJF stuff,
absolutely,
and this just fucking
crazy
torpedoed.
Absolutely, we had Samoa Joe, Wardlow, and Rampage last week. No mention here.
Well, no,
Joe was there.
Joe cut a little bit of a promo.
Wardlow wasn't there at all.
No,
like they're like
no Eddie, fucking hungover. No Jericho's booze cruise.
Right. No House of Black. This was a disaster. Like, some of these segments are real bad.
They are.
It's thankfully that the wrestling was really good in some parts, because these segments are poorly done. And you've cooled off Ricky Starks, who, in my opinion, was at one point a guy who I felt like, okay, you could put that belt on him whenever you feel like it now, and he's ready for it. And now, like, it's the Jericho cool off.
Can he save himself?
Yeah.
Yes.
But he has to get far away. He has to do whatever he's going to do against Jericho, where Jericho can botch the Rochambeau and Starks can win, and then Jericho will get his win back the next night, and they'll walk away.
Yeah. It's just not good.
And then he has to move on.
Not good at all.
And like Jericho on his fucking cruise, dressed up like fat Dracula, like fucking assisted living Dracula, fucking walking down to the ring. Just, you could just tell he's full of fucking hors d'oeuvres, fucking walking to that ring, just stuffing himself full of rum and fucking finger sandwiches.
Is that what you call powdered sugar?
Yeah,
hors d'oeuvres, huh?
Fucking just finger sandwiches and fucking spiced rum, and he's dressed as fat Dracula because of course he's got to attach his ass to Danhausen too, because Danhausen's selling fucking merch.
Yep.
So everybody, he couldn't even do the fucking curse point.
I know he was doing it all wrong.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's probably loaded.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, it's great. I'm glad you make all this money off the fucking Jericho cruise and whatever the fuck you're doing. I saw that not only did Fozzy play it, but also his fucking 80s Kiss cover band played it that he's the lead singer of.
Good.
I forget what it's called, but Jericho's the lead singer.
I know. I heard the one song
of an 80s Kiss cover band.
The best era of Kiss.
Right. The only thing that'll make that better.
Does he try to be Paul Stanley?
No, he dresses like he
I was gonna say that piece of shit. There's only one Paul Stanley.
That's right. Okay? I think he might. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't calling himself Mongoose McQueen.
Okay.
While he was there, but I don't know if that's true. But he like wears like the bright scarves and dresses like Kiss did, like in the Lick It Up video where Gene's wearing like the pink vest.
Yeah, the best era of Kiss.
The best era of Kiss.
The only era of Kiss that matters.
Well, the disco era is the best era of Kiss, but then
1A, 1B.
I was made for loving you is the best Kiss song ever written.
I don't know though. Let's put the X in
that is
sex.
True.
Still my favorite wedding moment.
That is
of all
true.
time.
God Gave Rock and Roll to You is also really good. But anyway, this isn't We Need Kiss.
It should be. We got Joe and Todd on here. We'll just talk Kiss. I'd be down with that. Oh man, Oh, are we gonna do a Kiss discography podcast?
Ooh.
I'd be down.
All right. But yeah, I just this is just Jericho just cools everybody off.
Just sucked.
You know, like
sucked.
even like OC cooled off for a bit after Jericho
sure
too.
did.
Everybody cools off after Jericho because Jericho is a fucking succubus. He's the professional wrestling energy vampire who also just happens to be one of the best wrestlers to ever live. So everybody lets him get away with it, but he literally sucks heat.
Yeah,
He's a heat-sucking missile is what he is.
It was just not good.
It's not good.
Things that are good, though.
Yes.
The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson
Yes.
versus Roosh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
This kicked so much ass.
Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler of the last 20 years.
Like, you have to be wondering what Andrade's thinking.
I was thinking that before.
Like,
because when you had just said about Roosh being like one of the bad guys in the thing, Andrade's like, I'm out of here, this is dumb. And they're like, okay, Roosh, you just do the stuff that Andrade was gonna do. And Roosh, who has a reputation for boo-boo facing, is like, okay. And like he's doing it and
like,
having
okay, I'm gonna go out and
bangers.
kill this.
Right. And just cutting good promos and wrestling fucking banger matches. Danielson or Christopher Daniels won aside. It wasn't bad, it just was nothing.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch. And Bryan Danielson is I mean, I don't know a better wrestler in the aughts. In the year 2000 beyond, I don't know a better professional
I love
wrestler.
Bryan Danielson so much.
Yeah.
And I think yesterday was actually the anniversary of the promo, or not the promo, but where he announced his first retirement.
Yeah.
And then you look and you flash forward how many ever years later, and you just see this dude out there crushing it
it's
still.
crazy.
I love Bryan Danielson so much. Roosh absolutely has raised his stock.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I could see right now your two head honchos being MJF and Smojo, but coming up quick, there's Swerve
Absolutely.
and Roosh.
They're
ready, man.
Swerve's ready, but God, I still don't buy in on these fucking dudes that are with him.
Yeah, it does suck with that. I agree. But he has so much talent that he could overcome
That's true. But so they lock Danielson in his dressing room.
Yeah.
And they bust out and he makes the 10 count or whatever. Good on Aubrey for like slowing down the count and fucking with Max that way. But yeah, I love this match.
I loved after the match, man, when Max beat the shit out of him. I love that shot going to commercial where he has him in the armbar and he like looks like crazy eyed and stuff. That's what he's supposed to do.
It's interesting that, and I guess because you don't want to do it like a week right before a pay-per-view because we're still a couple weeks off from the pay-per-view. But like if that was what ended the show on a go-home show for your pay-per-view, everybody would buy it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like everybody would want to see that. So I hope you can keep it this hot for the next couple of weeks because Danielson doesn't have any other matches to wrestle, so he doesn't need to be in that ring. Yeah. And because it already said it's going to happen, him and Max aren't going to touch until the pay-per-view. Max ain't wrestling again until the pay-per-view.
I'm sure. No, I think you're going to get a Danielson Takeshita versus MJF Roosh tag.
You think they'll do that?
Yeah, probably.
I hope they do.
Why not?
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You do that on the go home.
Yeah.
But
dude, get a little Roosh Takeshita in the ring.
Work on that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Next up I have is the trios match.
Yes.
Listen, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
I got real excited during the Kenny Omega AR Fox parts.
Yes. So I
that
saw you,
was good, man.
I saw you tweet that, and I had the same thought. Like, give me Kenny AR Fox without any Young Bucks influence.
Yep.
And I'll watch the shit out of that match.
Yeah.
But Kenny is, for whatever reason, just follows the Bucks in tow and does the shit that they do, and it doesn't fucking work for me.
Yeah.
And like, it's fine. I knew exactly what it was going to be. Most of it is excellently executed.
Absolutely.
But to follow what I just watched with Dragon and Roosh, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
To watch a man get German suplexed off the apron and he hits the ground so hard that blood splatters on the camera.
Right.
Brother.
Because he's got a gusher, like a hardway gusher.
God damn, I'm Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, it's just not for me. Crowds go crazy for that. Those sort of matches are I can't even describe how different they are live.
Oh, live, like I said, man, the pay-per-view,
they are.
I was like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
They're crazy fun live when they're done that well. But like following the wrestling that I like it just doesn't fit for me. But Kenny A.R. Fox would legit tear the house down.
Absolutely. Any interaction that they had was really good. And I still like Top Flight. I know that they're like a little bit flippy guys or whatever. But, man, Dante Martin.
It has its place in wrestling. I think that's somebody described it as like party wrestling. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
That does make sense. I like that term, actually.
But it's never going to be for me. I can see when it's executed well and when it's not.
Now,
but the Bucks will never work for me, especially because that one fucking asshole still does the double Northern Lights. It kills me every time.
So, party wrestling. Would you refer to them as party rockers?
Oh, maybe.
You know what I found out about LMFAO this week?
That they're an uncle and nephew?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No,
I knew that.
But now they don't speak to each other.
Yeah, they're falling out.
Not much to laugh about anymore, huh?
So all that money will do that to you.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
You know what else is a shame?
What's that, Brad?
Stokely Hathaway getting assaulted.
Oh, did
by
you see
Hook.
him with the cast?
Amazing, man.
And for no reason, all the picture with his best friend, close personal friend, Reverend Al Sharpton.
Yep. He's so good.
Really
I love Stoke.
It's hilarious.
Main event.
All right, let's fight it out, buddy.
The
Let's
Acclaimed
go. Let's go.
versus the Guns.
Yep. The ass and the ass boys.
Number one, the match isn't very good.
No.
No,
that I will give you. The match isn't good.
It's just not good.
Right.
You know, they did the tease of Billy holding up Bowen so his son could hit him with the title, but, you know, tries to stop his kids. His other kid hits him from behind.
Yeah.
Guns are your new tag champs.
Yes.
It does nothing for me.
So, is it? I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I'm on your side, but this I at least understand. Whereas if I'm a wrestling booker, and Tony Khan talked about on Mark Maron's podcast, he has a spreadsheet of what he's doing and the storylines and all that, right? For that sake, I'm going to say notebook. If you are writing or booking out shows in your notebook, and you have your pencil, and you write down Brian Pillman Jr. on national TV against anybody, that I honestly can't comprehend and understand, right? I genuinely am like, did you forget what you were writing? Did you forget? Is it a placeholder? Did you think someone else's name? I'm very confused. You think Brian Pillman Jr. is somebody else better? That confuses me. This, I get. I don't like, but I get. Because... and the reason why I get it is because, and I think we talked about this, I don't know if we talked about it on the show, we might have talked about it just hanging out, but they have literally no one else heated up in that tag division.
No, and they don't, but that's not an excuse.
It's a poor excuse.
Yeah.
So the Acclaimed are kind of untouchable because they don't have anybody built up, right? We were talking about it, and I would say that the who you have to heat up are shit kickers. You can't do what they did with the Guns and have them try to outsass and outflash them. You have to heat up Butcher and Blade and just have them run through them, right? Just fucking destroy them.
Speaking of Butcher, how about that bald Butcher
right?
again, man?
Yeah.
Broski was pissed about that on the podcast.
Oh yeah? I like him with the hair better.
He goes, they just showed your finger with that, your action figure with hair, and you shaved your head.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro?
But I think the better story here is heat those guys up and have them just run through Acclaimed if you're going to have them lose the titles. But I genuinely think Acclaimed are going to get the titles back at the pay-per-view. I think this is just let's give them a little bit of a chase. The chase is interesting because there's nothing for the Acclaimed at the pay-per-view if this doesn't happen. What are they going to do? Who are they going to wrestle? There's no drama. There's nobody big enough to beat them. There's nobody there. So what do? You hotshot the titles to the ass boys so that there's somebody to beat and get a giant pop at the pay-per-view. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing else. They took all of their interesting and cool tag teams, added a third, and have had them chasing the trios titles. So there was nobody else heated up in that tag division. While the match stunk, I don't love the Billy Gunn stuff. The Ass Boy stuff. I wish they had done more with the Billy Gunn stuff because even that sort of won't he go back with his boys or not? That was over in an hour of TV time.
Yeah, and Plus, like, they just did it.
Right.
Like, not that long ago.
So, like, I don't know what else you do. I think you need to get a big Acclaimed pop at the pay-per-view. Clearly, they're moving merch, but you don't have time.
Yeah.
You don't have time to heat anybody else up. You don't have a heel team anywhere other than Butcher and Blade, and they're not believable right now because you're not doing enough with them. I think when the Acclaimed are ready, you have to do that. My fear is they're going to do it with Swerve's idiots or something to try and make them seem legit.
I don't think they'll do it there, but I look at it this way. Chucky and Trent haven't had a run with the belts.
Right. Baby faces.
Take that away from it. Santana and Ortiz haven't had a
Baby
run with
faces.
the belts.
I thought about
they
this.
Were heels.
I thought about this.
They were
also.
heels first.
Yeah, sure.
They were heels for a long fucking time.
So the funny thing is, I was thinking about this, and I knew what you were going to say is like, in the record books, the Ass Boys are tag title holders before the better tag teams.
I'm just roll with me.
Yeah.
Here. You say like the shit kickers, Butcher and Blade. Nothing.
Yeah.
Malachi and Brody King, you could have done them.
Sure.
They're shit kickers.
Great example.
There is
Only it seemed like they were doing something with Eddie up until 2 hours ago.
There's a reason why, and nothing. There's a reason why Well Done never won the tag team titles in the 90s.
How dare you disparage? How dare you disparage and compare Well Done to the Ass Boys, sir?
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
That like Techno Team 2000 never won.
How dare you, sir?
In the 90s.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The guns.
You want to throw some dirt on the New Breed while we're at it?
No. Listen here, sir. You watch your mouth about the New Breed. They
kick them while they're down.
It's just the guns aren't like. I just don't care.
I agree completely.
I don't like the story does nothing for me.
I agree completely.
I know like the whole. Oh, but what if the Acclaim just beats them in a couple weeks? I go, okay, and then we're back to where we were.
Right.
What's the point?
Right.
And I don't think that the Acclaim's going to beat them in a couple weeks.
I do.
I think there's going to be some chicanery where the guns retain. And then you're going to get, which tons of people were lamenting about today, oh, that's where FTR beats the guns against the tag titles.
And you go back to because they were running that right before FTR needed time off.
Exactly.
I hope not. And let me clarify. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
My viewpoint on this is I understand Tony Khan. In my thinking, the Acclaimed winning them at the pay-per-view is Tony Khan's booking for that pop at the pay-per-view. And anything else, the Acclaimed are you're just wrestling a random team and they're beating them, and this gives them somebody to chase. Is it great? No. The thing is, if they do, you said, where are they after they win them back? We're just back where we are. You're back where we are, but we also don't have a pay-per-view looming then, so they can build some other people up. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. Have the Acclaimed come out, get jumped during a rap. Have House of Black take out Billy. Whatever you're doing, but I think
so. Perfect. I'm so happy you just said that.
Yeah.
Why not just have the Acclaimed win the belt, keep the titles last night? Let's go out. House of Black jumps the Acclaimed.
Right.
Boom. There's your pay-per-view match.
Why? I have no idea. Why not? I have no idea.
Like you're saying, and again, like you're saying,
I would love that so much more.
Like you're thinking, and I don't know what's going on with Eddie and them. They give it 30 seconds of TV time every week.
Yeah.
Are they trying to set up Eddie versus Malachi at the pay-per-view?
Right.
I don't fucking know.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Right. Like it's just I don't fucking know, dude.
But it does seem so because we're going to start to see the pay-per-view forming, right? And wrestling all has a formula. And so it certainly seems like now, because Dragon is through all his trials, so there's a
pay-per-view's literally still a month away.
Right, it's a month away, right. But so Dragon MJF is set, right? So you don't need, so Dragon and MJF will get a promo segment every week. So there's 10, 15 minutes of match time you can have on the show to heat up Eddie for the pay-per-view, Malachi, or whatever that happens to be. I think that's sort of what he's going to do is I think Tony is still, sadly, and I think he's a little too, taking too much time on this. I think he gets lost in the sauce a little bit and doesn't know how to even everything out and needs to, okay, I'll establish this, then pull that off TV to establish this, and I'll pull that off TV to establish the next thing, and then I'll have a whole pay-per-view card, but half the card you haven't seen on regular TV in 3 weeks. I think he needs to get better at developing overall, and one of the great ways to do that, I'm going to go right back to this, is don't put Brian fucking Pillman Jr. on TV, particularly within the month of a pay-per-view. Yeah. If you want to do that when there is no, you're not building to a pay-per-view, you're just doing nonsense, you're trying to build people up, whatever it happens to be, fine. But when you have a pay-per-view looming, and you're trying to build things for that, don't put Brian Pillman on fucking TV. Yeah. Don't fucking do it. Use that for better people. And I think Tony Khan has issues with that. And also, he's paying people. He wants to try and use people.
Sure.
Do not repay Brian Pillman Jr.
No.
Brian Pillman Jr. should be lost in the eternity of wrestling Joey Janela on undercard of GCW shows until he retires from wrestling and starts driving a fucking public transportation.
Yeah.
A much more fulfilling job for someone like him.
So we have less than a month of the pay-per-view coming up.
Yeah.
I think what you have, obviously, so far set in stone, Danielson, MJF.
Right.
Mox, Hangman, I think that's going to be like a Texas death match.
Yeah, sure. Also, nowhere on the show this week.
Yeah. Fuck.
Right, because Tony doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't.
You're going to have...
He builds and pulls and builds and pulls. He doesn't roll everything together.
Joe Wardlow TNT title.
Right.
I don't know who for the trios titles at this point.
Yeah, what other trios are there? Best friends?
Maybe, I don't know. Jade, don't know.
Jade, whoever's going to beat her, right?
Hater, they're doing the whole new, like, originals versus whatever.
Right. My guess is that's going to be a tag match. That'll be
that'll be
Hater and Hater versus Storm and
Cheetah, maybe. Who knows?
I think if you
turns on, who knows?
No, I think you do Saraya and Storm versus Britt and Hater.
Yeah, and
then after the heels win, then you build the teams for whatever you're going to do with a big group of them. Because Ruby Soho is also Will I Won't I? I think you
Jericho.
pay that off at the pay-per-view. Great, yeah, awesome, and the fucking oatmeal match.
So, again, I'm along for the ride. I always say that, but it's you're a wrestling fan.
I'm along for the ride. It doesn't mean I can't criticize
exactly.
your shitty
You always
booking.
look forward.
Yeah,
and for as great as Danielson Roosh was last night, which it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was a great match.
There's still just like a lot of stuff. Again, and I thought MJF to Takeshita was great. It really was.
It was awesome.
But I don't know. This
was a letdown.
It was weird. It's weird, and I just don't.
Right.
Like, I'm not these people who are like, holy fuck, the Guns won. AEW's over, done. But at the same time, I just try to look at it, and I don't know what we're doing.
So Brett.
Yes, DJ.
I want to, before we jump into anything else, I want to just mention this about MJF.
Okay.
Do you know Mark Raimondi? Does that name mean anything to you?
It does, actually.
He covers fighting for ESPN.com.
Yeah, Mark. Okay, I know the name.
Okay. So he put out a tweet today. Did you happen to see it?
No.
Okay. Verified account. Works for ESPN. Covers UFC. Covers wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Not to break kayfabe, but I contacted the Nassau County PD. And reports that hundreds of people have called about the MJF promo from AEW
I heard about
don't seem to be true.
Yeah.
The public information officer didn't know what I was talking about and said such calls would go to his office. And somebody said, you called the police about a wrestling storyline?
This is Vince's limo blowing up all
and he said,
over again.
if you need work to do, there's a big UFC this weekend, Mark.
Yeah.
And he said, I was curious and it took me under 5 minutes. Just 1 second. I just have to say something here to all of our listeners. I love you all so much. I appreciate, honestly, every single person that listens to us do this every week because we're just two idiots. We're just having fun being dummies.
Dummy.
Yeah. But I just deep breath. Just wrestling's fake. I'm sorry. This isn't real.
What?
That was a promo. He was telling a story.
Yeah.
None of that actually happened.
Yeah.
You can suspend your disbelief for a bit, but don't. Is this guy pulling a rib on everybody to get the attention? I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
but like, just maybe don't. Just don't. Just don't. Just enjoy it. Do you call NBC when fucking something happens on General Hospital? Is that still on TV?
I'm sure.
And you're like, I don't know about the channel. I have no idea. And you're like, oh, excuse me, somebody was murdered in this hospital. I saw on TV.
Excuse
Police,
me, sir.
You know, like, come on. Are you calling? You know, like, I don't understand. Like, you know, did you call the police in the 90s because you were worried about the Van Buren boys running wild in the streets of New York? I don't think you were.
Should have.
So, like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, people, please just fucking stop.
Yeah.
Be reasonable. Be as reasonable as wrestling. You work for ESPN. You should be fired, sir.
Yeah.
I'll work for ESPN. I could do the same stupid shit.
I work for ESPN.
Right? I'll write some, I don't know, the fucking, the Black Beast is washed and...
He is washed.
Fucking...
See, look at, you know.
Right? And,
he is
I don't know, Marco Ruiz fought a couple days ago or something.
Whole Shogun.
And,
You're
I don't know.
Spot on, brother.
What the fuck's, what's Little Nog doing? Is he still out there somewhere?
Probably. No, I think they're both retired.
I know, they're both retired.
Yeah.
Fedor just got beat by Ryan Bader. I know what's going on.
Dude, you know what? It was funny. My friend texted me, was like, you watching the Fedor fight? I go, no, I already know what's going to happen. He's going to get first round TKO'd.
Right.
Sure enough. I'm like, why am I going to watch
what
this?
happened in the last 10 years.
Yeah, like,
it's a Fedor
do
fight.
I care? Yeah.
But anyway, everyone, I'm sorry to break it to you. Wrestling's fake. Don't bother fucking administrative people with your bullshit.
Yeah.
Just let them go.
Just leave people alone. All right. Enough of America.
That's it. Get out of here, America.
Let's go to Japan.
I'm so bored with the USA.
There's a few things from Japan.
We'll be back to the USA in a bit because
we sure will. But I watched a couple matches from a few shows that happened this week in Japan. It was a very heavy week in Japanese wrestling. I didn't kind of realize it.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So from All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
Excite Mania.
Okay.
For the Triple Crown title.
Was it Excite Mania? It was Excite Series Day 1.
I don't know. I just took the name of it off of Cage Match. The Triple Crown champ Kento Miyahara.
Yes.
The challenger Yuma Aoyagi.
Sure.
If I'm fucking that up, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So
not listening. You're
watch
good.
these two in that tag match a couple weeks ago.
Yes, because Yuma is tag champs right now.
Yes.
I watched this and he came out with 2 belts and I was like, what are those belts?
I know. I knew you were going to be like,
I was like, what's going on?
What is that?
Like,
more than one belt in all Japan?
Yeah. I was like, who are these? What belts does he have? And then I was like, oh, those are the old unified tag belts. Yeah. So that's awesome they still use that because I do not support this one belt for the Triple Crown nonsense.
It's bullshit.
If you can keep the 2 old belts for the tag belts, you can keep the regular Triple Crown.
Big facts, homie.
Yeah.
I thought, this got recommended on a group I'm in, and I thought it was really fucking good, man.
It's a very good match. Absolutely.
It's weird watching like All Japan. I'm trying to like give it more of a chance.
That's my thing, and like finding it on Internet Archive is very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
What else is on there?
Send you the link,
I have a hard time connecting to these wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because I'm not exposed enough. And they're relatively buzzless. They have a buzz, and I think everybody knows Kenta Miyahara.
Yes.
At least the name. And he's a very talented guy. But like the few matches I've watched, and I'm not going to walk away from it. I like watching it. This is a nice crowd for them. It looked like a little bit bigger than the last one we watched.
Yeah, there was about 1,400 people in attendance.
But I have a hard time connecting. So like, there's no English commentary, which doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. But I'm not linked to anybody. Like when I remember, like when you first got me back into New Japan, and I saw Tomohiro Ishii, I was like, yeah, that's my dude.
That was your guy.
He's been my dude since. It's what it is. The connection is instantly there. I don't have that All Japan guy yet. They're talented,
yes,
but I don't have that guy yet. So I'm not like, that was fucking awesome. But this was a very good match. I don't speak Japanese, but I'm pretty sure Miyahara threatened to murder from the top rope.
I believe he did, yes.
In this match, because he tried to Falcon Arrow Aoyagi, off the top to the outside and just couldn't get him lifted. Thank God.
He definitely tried.
I think he was
sure as shit tried.
He was
my
calling
friend.
for a murder. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was fun to watch. You know, again, it's not something I'm going to keep up with all the time, but if I see something and somebody recommends it, I'll give it a watch.
And that's the power of wrestling. We sort of talk about that a bit here and there. Like that's how we learned about it back in the day. We never had this access. So like it was word of mouth. It's you ever hear of the Burning Hammer? You know, like the Emerald Flow, Tiger Driver 98, like 94, like all that stuff, like Gonzo Bombs, which we'll talk about in a second. The word of mouth creates the attachment and the want to watch.
Yes.
And I signed up for All Japan a few months ago and canceled it because it's just everything's hard to navigate, which is fine. It's still easier to navigate than it was 20 years ago, where you were just waiting for stuff in the mail.
Sure.
But yeah, and like this match also had like Onita and Nasawa Ron guy winning the
against
tag
Kendo
titles
and Yoshi Tatsu.
Right.
What are we doing?
Right, and like Yuji wrestles on this match and then challenges for
Yuji challenges Miyahara.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch
match.
that for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, so like there's some weird stuff going on in All Japan. People just seem to be floating in and out and all around. But Onita's tag champ's there now, which is super weird. Yeah. Or one kind of whatever tag champ he is. I don't know.
Very weird.
Very bizarre. But yeah, it was a very good match. If you want to have any interest in watching it, Brett will tell you how to do that.
I sure will. Also, if you have any interest of watching any of these matches, I also watched 3 matches from Stardom's.
Ooh, I did not watch any Stardom.
Supreme Fight 2023.
This is all you, pal.
Yeah, I was. I knew you were watching overwhelmed with your wrestling this week, so I was like, I'm not even going to send it to you. Because I was like, you're probably not going to watch it. But you should.
Yeah, I don't. Never mind. No, I'm not going to say it.
So what you're going to say?
No, I'm not even going to make the joke because I don't believe it.
What?
I was just going to make a totally terrible misogynist joke about how women shouldn't be professional wrestlers. But I stopped myself because I don't actually feel that way and didn't even want to float that out there. So,
sure. So I watched 3 matches from this. First match I watched was Chihiro Hashimoto going up against Mireille. So Chihiro Hashimoto is your kind of wrestler.
Okay.
She's like a female Ishii.
Okay, daughter of Shinya Hashimoto.
She looked awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, they beat the fuck out of each other.
Okay.
It went like 15 minutes. Again, it's all Japanese.
Where are you watching Stardom at?
We'll talk, pal.
Okay.
I have my ways.
All right.
The same website you may have just mentioned before.
Oh, cool.
What a cool page.
All right. Let's fucking go.
Real cool page.
Give a shit. Let's
happy
let's do it.
I like found it. I'm like, I ain't sharing it with nobody. Just fucking you and that's it. I'm like, everybody else,
You know where I got a lot from on that site? When I was downloading and burning all the original ECW shows. They're all up.
Oh, what a sight. So I thought this was really good, man. They beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
This is one where like I kind of want you to watch it. Because there's a
I would have tried.
A lot of crazy suplexes.
Should have just told me female Ishii. I would at least watch that one.
All right, I apologize.
It would make the feelings I feel when I watch Ishii wrestle at least feel more legitimate.
Nah, I like those feelings when I watch Ishii. The next one I watched was the Goddesses of Stardom title match.
Okay.
Which is their tag titles. Okay. Their champions, the Neo Stardom Army.
Okay.
Which was Nanae Takahashi and you going up against 2 members of Donna Del Mondo.
Oh, I like it.
Which was Himeka and Micah.
Okay. Sure.
Neo Stardom Army. Some Haas motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But, dude, I was like, I pay a little attention to Stardom every now and again.
Yeah.
But I was like, where's this been?
Yeah.
There's
lady
hosses.
All right.
Why is nobody sending this my way, man? I love a lady hoss.
So there is a Stardom podcast you could be listening to.
I'm all right. Okay. So this match goes like less than 20 minutes, and what's their faces? The Neo Stardom Army retain. And it's really fucking good.
Okay.
They beat the shit out of each other.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, this is real cool that women are just kicking the shit out of each other. I love this.
Yeah.
And then the last match that I watched was for the World of Stardom title, which is their like main belt. Mm-hmm. The champ, Julia.
Okay.
Against the challenger, Suzu Suzuki.
Okay.
No relation to Minoru Suzuki. I guess they have a lot of history together from what I pieced together.
Sure. Do they know English commentary?
No English commentary.
Does Stardom not offer English commentary anywhere?
Don't believe so.
Interesting.
But so the things that like I really kind of wanted to watch some more Japanese stuff this week was they lifted their restrictions. So like this was like it's 1,900 people in the crowd for this one, and dude, it was like ballistic.
Yeah.
The crowd was going crazy. Cool. Fucking banger of a match.
Yeah.
Sorry, Taz, it was a banger.
Taz said banger the other day.
I know,
Fucking hypocrite.
He sure did. But yeah, dude, this was really fucking good. Julia's awesome.
Yeah.
Julia, like, her finish is super dangerous, which I like.
Okay.
And I'm into that. So if any more Stardom like comes across my board,
the one thing that I want to try and keep track of, and I didn't watch the match, I had to go back and watch it from weeks ago, is Tokyo Joshi Pro whenever Maxie Impaler and Heidi Howitz are on.
yes,
I'd like to keep track of that.
yeah, I know they're back both in the States right now, but I anything that pops up, I'll probably watch from them.
Yeah.
One last thing before we get to New Japan.
Okay.
I watched one match from the Noah Star Navigation.
Okay,
show.
I watched one match.
You talk about your match you watched first.
I don't have any notes. I watched.
It was fucked up. I went to like go watch the match I was going to watch, and it was already like halfway through, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
Who the fuck was watching this show? It's like I didn't even say anything about this. But then I saw who it was, and I go,
Satoshi Kojima wrestled Masaki Tamiya. A match on paper made for me. Made from my heart and my soul. This is like my chicken soup. I'm gonna write a book, Satoshi Kojima for the Soul. That's what this is. It's fine. It's good. It's not anything. It's not. I ain't writing home about it. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
They're just beating each other up. Kojima's flexing his pecs all over the place.
Good.
Kitamiya's throwing
making them bitches
great sight of suplexes. I just love these guys. I love Kitamiya. And I love Kojima. Kojima's fucking amazing. So I just watched that just because Noah, rightfully so, put out some fucking gifs of it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
New Japan don't do that shit anymore. At least don't let other people do it.
I would say that other people aren't allowed to do it.
But
those DMCA strikes,
right? But so I watched. It was good. Speaking of Noah, though, I did see fucking Mark Pickering have the balls
that guy's fucking
to
sucks.
reply to Eddie Kingston on Twitter when Kingston was like, "Is Ted Lasso worth it?" And Pickering had the balls to talk to Eddie Kingston like they were buddies, and not like that entire fake bullshit outrage tirade he did was because of Eddie Kingston's t-shirt.
It's funny. The one girl I follow on Twitter, I think that she's like from somewhere in Europe, but she's super into Noah. Mm-hmm. And I saw her
Isame or whatever.
I think so.
Yeah, she's huge.
And I saw her like tweeting the other day about like how Mark Pickering is like a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
He sucks,
I'm into that.
But I was like, the audacity. Yeah. You had that. It was all fake. It was
nerve.
It was all fake outrage. It was back over the Pillars t-shirt. It was just to get eyes on his fucking Twitter account. And it was all nonsense. But it was because Eddie wore a t-shirt that Eddie shouldn't have worn. And you're going to talk to him like you're fucking, like about TV, like you're his fucking pal.
And now Eddie gave that t-shirt to Kesha.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Get double fucked Mark Pickering.
Yes. So the match I watched from that show was for the GHC national title, which is like the equivalent of an intercontinental title.
I almost watched this, but I was like, I don't need to watch a El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr.
Dude, you should. He's pretty good. Yeah, it was El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. Going up against Manabu Soya, who's
Soya.
a fucking hoss.
Soya's a hoss.
Dude, it was just fun hoss shit with Dr. Wagner Jr. doing some weird high-flying stuff. And working some lucha, and he won. He retained the title.
He retained. Okay.
Ton of fun, man.
Yeah, good.
I was like, all right, I'll watch this. Why the fuck not?
If I had seen that Soya had won, which Soya
Dr.
didn't,
Wagner Jr.
Soya didn't win.
No.
But if Soya had won, I probably would have watched it because I like Soya. I'm just not that experienced with El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. I just know that he held the tag titles with
El
Rene
Hijo del
Dupree.
Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yeah. Right,
he's only 31 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I like about kind of kicking it back to Stardom?
Yeah.
They do the same thing Noah does, where they put up like the people's names on the bottom of the screen, like their height,
so
weight,
fucking
and stuff.
smart, man.
Yeah, like that. Chihiro Hashimoto was 25 pounds heavier than her opponent.
Nice. I like that.
What a fucking hoss.
Yeah.
And then New Japan.
Yes. I watched a little bit of New Japan too.
New Beginning in Sapporo.
Yes.
From night one.
Okay.
I watched Will Ospreay versus Tai Chi.
I watched this as well.
where the fuck do they get off having a random match like this be
Right,
insane?
The New Beginnings. These are essentially house shows. Like stuff happens on.
Well,
them,
there's the Road to New Beginning, and then the New Beginning shows are
the
kind of the.
They're a little bigger, but they're not their biggest shows. It's not.
They're like New Japan B shows,
right? I mean, this is a solid match, man. My usual distaste for Ospreay is still there for some of the little things that I don't like that he doesn't do. But they kick the shit out of each other. So
it was sick.
Yeah.
We got a Tiger Driver 98.
We did. We got a Gonzo Bomb.
Yeah.
And when I say the things that Ospreay doesn't do, so like Ospreay doesn't do a lot of little things in the ring that bother me.
Like what?
He does a lot of. He'll either add stuff to his moves, so like Tai Chi a lot of times, especially in the beginning of the match before they get going, he can't just kick you. He's got to do a flip to kick you, so Tai Chi ends up waiting around. Or he just like little cells or little basic, not even basic wrestling things, but just little things that like when you watch Dean Malenko wrestle and he just every single thing that Dean Malenko does has meaning. Sure, Ospreay doesn't have that, and it's fine. He doesn't need to. I just particularly don't like him as a human being. So when I see him wrestle, I'm like, nah. But this match is super fucking good. We get quad kicks. Oh, that was the other thing. This is not a regular Ospreay sort of dig. But there's a big difference between Ospreay's Kawada kicks that he does in this match and Tai Chi's Kawada kicks. Do you know what they are?
Well, it should be.
Right.
Tai Chi's trained by Kawada.
Right.
You should know.
Right. But it's an overall sort of wrestling thing. And when Ospreay's going to do them, he grabs Tai Chi by the back of the head and bends him over.
Yeah.
When Tai Chi does them, he boots you in the gut first, so you bend over. And I was like, okay, and it is very much the guy who knows how to do it versus the guy who's trying to copy the sort of thing.
How, yeah.
But yeah, this is like a Tai Chi we've been getting lately.
Dangerous T, baby.
Here and there.
Yeah.
No.
Dangerous T.
No.
When he busts out a match like this,
No.
I'll call him Dangerous T.
No.
Listen, he rips his pants off. He's a part of Just Four Guys.
He is a part of Just Four Guys.
I want to see Just Four Guys versus good looking guys.
Yeah, right.
Fucking crossover.
The best part of this whole match for me, though, was Tai Chi refusing to go down to the elbow strikes just over and over again at the end.
Sick.
I was like, that's awesome. But yeah, this was a very solid match.
They beat the shit out of each other.
They did. It was way more hard hitting than you usually see from Ospreay, and honestly from Tai Chi. We get this a lot more now, but like this is a little bit of an awakening in him.
I do like at the end when United Empire was like walking back through the curtain, and Kevin Kelly said, the Great O'Khan out there yelling, I only want the finest meats and cheeses for my men. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. It's so weird, but I'm into it.
All right.
So night 2 of New Beginning in Sapporo.
Yes.
For the New Japan World TV title.
I watched this.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tomohiro
Of course
Ishii.
I'm going to watch this one, yes.
I remember this pairing was when you were like, holy shit, I loved it.
Yep,
I love it. You love these two against each other.
No, it was the original US IWGP US title tournament.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an amazing pairing. They play so well off of each
paper,
other.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Man.
It absolutely doesn't. And then Ishii does a fucking Yoshi tonic. So super fucking bizarre that he hit the Ishii tonic out of an abdominal stretch.
Crazy.
Super fucking crazy. Shout out to Super Shisha, the real inventor of that move. Not Amazing Red like everybody likes. And I like Amazing Red just fine. He definitely popularized it. But Ishii hits a pounce in this match. And you're goddamn right. I stood up and yelled pounce.
Good, I'm glad you did.
Because that's what you do. I don't love the look of that belt. I think it's an ugly fucking title belt.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking dinner tray.
But I love that they're 15-minute time limit.
Great.
No fucking around wrestling matches.
Agreed.
This is ends with 10, 15 seconds before the time limit. Sabre retains. And I like these two together a lot. I think they bring out different sides of each other. And it's fun to watch Ishii try and keep up with Sabre. And then when he can, he just beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sabre hits Zack Driver out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's
right.
fucking great.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I was very excited to watch this when I saw that it was happening.
So I watched another match on this show.
Okay.
It was the main event.
Okay.
The junior heavyweight title.
Okay.
Hiromu Takahashi versus Yo.
Oh.
I was like,
Okay.
I saw it coming on after this match. I go, fuck it, I'll give it a try.
Why not?
Wow, was this awesome. That crowd was super behind Yo.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like crazy behind
Yo's the
him.
good one, right? Not the one that's in House of Torture?
Yeah, shows in House of Torture.
Okay. Yeah.
This was fantastic.
Yeah,
I was
good.
shocked by how good this was.
We
man.
always liked Roppongi 3K.
Yeah, and Yo kind of has been floundering for a while. This I feel like could be a little bit of a coming out party for him.
Okay.
He's gonna win that belt one day. He will.
And he sort of was talking about leaving, right? Because he wasn't
Well,
sure
the
where.
show that was talking about leaving,
Oh,
going
was
to
it
All
show?
Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but as I like to tease Tim, Death Taxes and Hiromu's a junior champ, baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
Right.
It is what it is.
Wait, Tim doesn't like Hiromu?
No, he's just like it's the same thing over
Oh.
and over for him. You know. Sorry, brother.
You don't
It
like
is-
Okada either? It's,
It is.
it's what
Just-
you do.
It just is what it is, my man.
It's just life.
Yeah.
Live with it.
Deal with it,
Right.
brah. So that's all that I watched.
Yeah.
But
It was
we did
a lot.
We did. Yeah, I was like caught off guard by how much I
Yeah,
actually
for
watched
sure.
this week. But we did watch 3 other matches.
We did.
So we're celebrating Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin.
So-
The first week is I don't know if it's actually the first week, is it? I guess kind of. Well, I guess last week there was, but we didn't really talk about it. So, first week of Black History Month, we try to highlight some
listen,
black wrestlers.
listen, Tim. I also celebrate black wrestlers every day. All right,
Okay.
you're not special. Okay?
Oh yeah, to give us heat about
pal?
that too.
Of course.
I'm exposing myself that I didn't listen to their podcast
See,
last
look
week.
at that. Wow.
That's what happens.
Everybody's getting exposed left
Right?
and right here.
Wait till we're done recording.
Oh, boy. So yeah, we watched Shelton Benjamin matches.
Yes,
3 kind of separate eras of Shelton, which I like.
kinda. Yeah.
So the first match was from May 22nd, 2003, episode of SmackDown.
Yes.
Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin at this point part of Team Angle.
Yes.
Going up against the newly crowned tag champs from the night before. I guess it was a pay-per-view the night before.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero and
Was it
Tajiri.
Judgment Day?
It
I
was
think
Judgment Day. Yeah, because did you watch anything else on this episode of SmackDown?
Was this the Mr. America stuff?
Yeah.
Where Vince was like, I got to find out who that Mr. America is after all.
Well,
Zach Gowen. It's the Zach Gowen debut.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Vince says I was assaulted by a handicapped guy.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, oh, Vince.
Right. Yeah. I skimmed through it, and when they talked about Mr. America, and Vince was
Yeah,
all
because
upset.
at the pay-per-view the
Yeah.
night before was Roddy Piper versus Mr. America.
Right. With
Sean O'Hare.
Sean O'Hare, right. Weird.
Weird time in
Fucking
life.
bizarre.
So yeah, Haas and Benjamin against
and this
Guerrero and Tajiri.
This is Giant Fist era SmackDown, too, for those of you
This is
at
best
home.
era SmackDown, okay?
It's true.
This is my SmackDown.
Yeah. This is the opening match of this SmackDown.
Yeah.
Michael Cole and Taz on commentary.
Dude, Michael Cole's goatee is so bad.
It's
in this.
terrible.
What'd you think of the match?
This match is insane to be on TV.
Yes.
So
It sure
so
is.
like Chavo, like something happened to Chavo. He couldn't be tag champ, so Eddie picks Tajiri. They're just a mishmash tag team, which we don't usually love. Commentary even brings up how it's weird that they're a mishmash tag team. Yeah, I watched this match. I was like, wow, this is on TV. Like, this is crazy. Like, WWE would never give you something like this now.
No.
Never. I mean, they don't let people wrestle like this anyway. But this is the opening match. There's a sunset flip blockbuster tag move from Team Angle, which was insane.
Yeah.
I just love watching these guys. I was watching wrestling here, so like it's big and all this stuff. I love Eddie. I think Eddie Guerrero is probably like one of the most perfect professional wrestlers to ever
Absolutely,
exist.
man.
I'm not telling any surprises here.
Yeah.
I'm not telling tales
What
out
a
of school.
hot take that was.
But Eddie is the perfect professional wrestler. Tajiri's great. Team Angle fucking kills it. Somebody needs to start doing the House of Pain submission hold.
Dude, what a cool
Right?
fucking...
Right? It's a little convoluted, but it
But
looks
it's
cool, so fucking do
It's
it.
really cool.
My favorite part of this match. So this match is full of cool tag team timing spots.
I love, and if you're going to say it,
Yeah.
if I'm cutting you off, I'm sorry. when Haas would cut off like Guerrero to Tajiri for making a tag by just tackling them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Not what I was going to say,
Okay.
but you're right. But there's so much stuff like that. So much little things here and there, little tag team things that both teams did really well. Even Eddie and Tajiri did that stuff super fucking well. My favorite thing in this whole match, though, is that at one point, Team Angle does the no tag switch in, right? And I don't know which way it went, if it was Benjamin in for Haas or Haas in for Benjamin. But they do the switch when the ref's back is turned. And the ref isn't formerly known as Twin Magic. I can see on your face you know what I'm going to say. Because with Taz on commentary says, now they do the switch, and the ref allows it. And Taz gets upset. And he says, I don't know why the ref fell for that. They don't exactly look the same, if you know what I'm saying. And Taz, completely baffled that the referee fell for the Twin Magic with a white guy and a black guy. Amazing.
What a moment.
It's just Taz just not letting anybody get anything past him. Just Twin Magic Jones, and just not letting it's that's it. It's fucking amazing.
So
but this match is beyond good for TV.
Yeah.
Beyond good for 2003 SmackDown opener the day after a pay-per-view.
And you get Eddie just whacking the ref with the chair.
Right. Yeah.
Blaming
That's
it on
the thing.
Haas, and you get the classic Eddie.
The Eddie
sheet
thing
steal.
works. I Googled, it's such a vague thing to Google, but I was like, when did Eddie first do that gimmick? With
It's around that
taking the chair
2003 era.
shot,
Yeah.
hitting the ground, throwing it at the guy, and falling over is the
This one
typical
just
way.
should have waxed
He
the
does,
ref
right?
with
And
it.
he throws it to Haas to get him disqualified.
Yeah.
Amazing, great finish. A lot of people I think would think how hot the match was that was a bit of a letdown of an ending. I think it's perfect. I want my heels to lie, cheat, and steal. And Eddie was the best at it. This match, fantastic tag match.
Yeah, it's like Eddie was so loved. Like he does a heel move, and the crowd's like, "Fuck yeah, this is great. We love this guy."
Absolutely.
So the second match from September 11th, 2010.
Never forget.
Ring of Honor's Glory by Honor 9.
Right.
And what was kind of billed as like a tag team dream match at the time. The Kings of Wrestling, Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, coming out with Shane Hagedorn.
Yes.
Going up
Chris
against...
Hero on the diet here.
Dude. More on that in a little bit.
Okay.
Going up against the world's greatest tag team, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. This
Yeah.
was their first match on the Indies together.
Was it?
Yeah, like at the time, it was their first one back.
Okay. I like it.
The crowd was super fucking into them,
hot.
dude.
Absolutely.
Chris Hero, not a favorite of mine. Certainly not a favorite of yours.
Nope.
Looks like $1 million.
Looks great here.
He
Absolutely.
looks
Good for him.
Phenomenal.
Good for him.
Here.
He doesn't have to wear the shirt. He had been on the diet. He'd been working out.
He looked great.
He didn't have the dumb half a beard he was rocking for a little while. He wasn't talking to anybody else's girlfriends behind their backs, as far as I know at this moment. Listen, Chris Hero looks phenomenal, but I'm not here to talk about how Chris Hero looks.
Here to talk about how Claudio Castagnoli looks great.
I am here to talk
Shelton
about
Benjamin's wrestling ability in this match.
Charlie the Haas.
Brother.
Charlie putting the work in, brother.
Yeah.
Putting the Haas in his last name, earning the last name.
Counting macros.
That's what he's counting.
No sugar.
Counting milligrams, milliliters. This dude.
He was ready
And listen,
to
they're always in
bust.
great shape.
Always.
Always. Not now. Charlie Haas not now.
But like they were both,
Right.
like college wrestlers. They're in great shape.
Great physique. Shelton has a fantastic physique still.
Yeah.
Charlie, buddy, brother. Like those arms didn't go down, brother.
No.
Like it's an upper body business, but like your biceps are stopping your arms from going down. Haas he hossed it up for he's on the indies because he ain't passing a test anywhere.
Fuck no.
Anywhere. I don't remember, but were they let go for a reason? Were they off TV for just done with them?
Yeah, just done. That's all.
Creators got nothing for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charlie the Haas Even British Bulldog was like, damn.
Yeah, seriously.
It's hilarious. It's the first thing I noticed.
Yeah.
He's just yoked. It looks
Yeah,
like
when he comes
Warlord.
out wearing that skull
Right.
cap and you just
Right.
go, brother,
Looks like-
what are
yeah.
you full of?
It's like Warlord era Matt Cardona walking in the Ring of Honor.
Seriously. He just couldn't put his arms down.
Like, put his arms down. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
yeah.
the match itself was awesome.
Yeah, match is
Crowd
awesome.
is red hot.
Right.
Everything World's Greatest Tag Team does, like
Yeah.
like you mentioned before, the House of Pain.
Right.
Crowd goes nuts. Shelton hit the Dragon Whip. Crowd goes
Dragon
nuts.
was awesome. Yeah, so good.
You know,
The
when they
springboard over the top thing on the ropes.
love
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah,
So
great.
good. I thought this was great.
This is really good. So the thing that struck me in this match, that it was really interesting, is a parallel. Two wrestlers in this match are like oddly sort of the same wrestler from a standpoint. Shelton Benjamin and Claudio. Two of the most naturally gifted athletes we've ever seen in professional wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Two of just they look like $1 million. They are impeccable in the ring at almost every turn. They are technically great. They are flashy, all of that stuff, and they've never been given the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Never. And all these years later, and granted, Benjamin's, Claudio's on the indies in the early 2000s, but Benjamin around a little longer, a little bit older of a guy. You go back to Minnesota Wrecking Crew and all that stuff, but like impeccable in the ring. You ask the world of them in there, and they could do whatever you need them to do.
Yeah.
They make people look better. They look great. Anybody you want them to wrestle, never fully given the ball, never fully trusted.
Yeah.
And hard pressed to be like, well, name me two better guys on the roster that they're on. It's like, there are. Like, who's better in AEW than Claudio? I don't know, Danielson.
Yeah.
They're so eerily similar to me. Especially two guys, tag team wrestlers. Shelty's obviously the more tag team veteran kind of guy. But like, I'm just like, man, these guys are really similar from like a wrestling position standpoint. Two guys I love, two guys that the fans love, who I think fans would freak out if they got the ball and were able to run with it the big time.
Absolutely, man.
I think two guys too that probably could never be the face of a company, long term, but guys who should have had nice runs with a world title here or there. Once, twice, Jinder Mahal can get it, these guys can get it.
And what a great point. If Jinder can get it, why the fuck?
And I like Jinder's run.
Why couldn't these guys?
But if Jinder can get it, these guys can get it.
Yeah.
So,
I looked at the card for this show.
yeah.
I only watched an entrance of somebody for
Okay.
the main event. The main event was Roderick Strong versus Tyler Black in a no disqualification match. But I watched the entrance of the special ringside enforcer.
Okay.
And it was Terry goddamn Funk.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and he comes out, he's so
Nice.
happy.
Did he have theme music?
No, you don't need a goddamn theme
right.
music.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Terry.
I don't know that I've ever seen Tyler Black wrestle.
Yeah.
Yep. For real.
Yeah.
Like, I was not in the Ring of Honor at that time. And I've never really heard anybody say I have to watch Tyler Black matches. Like, you should see this Tyler Black match.
He's had some.
I'm not saying he's bad.
Yeah, he's had stuff I remember liking, but nothing where I can name.
Right.
He was just a solid guy. I remember when he got signed to the E, I was like, oh, that guy?
Yeah.
That's
He's a
weird.
perfect WWE guy.
Yeah. So, last match that we watched from the May 2nd, 2005 episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yes. On Spike TV.
Yeah, dude. And then, again, another show after a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because Backlash was the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a top 3 Monday Night Raw match ever.
This is just two dudes having fun, being more athletic than anybody else.
Unbelievable.
Just hanging out, having a good
I
time.
feel like
That's all.
Shawn's goal here was to be like, all right, kid, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And like to be like, no, we're going to make you look good. We're going to make you look really fucking good here tonight. Shelton, like...
I don't know that Shelton needed Sean's help with that, but Sean gave him a lot.
But hey, man, at the time,
Sean didn't have to really give him anything.
Exactly. Sean's name carried a lot of weight,
Right.
And for him to just go in there and have a fucking barn burner of a match with Shelton, unbelievable,
Right.
dude. When I'm always amazed with this when Shelton just does that leap from the mat to the top rope and then hits like a German or a belly to belly.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Absolutely.
Obviously has maybe the most memorable finish of a Raw match.
It's
one of most memorable finishes of a wrestling match.
It's
ever.
a god tier level finish. It is.
Yeah.
It is one of the best. It's the, for my money, the greatest sweet chin music there ever was.
Oh, no doubt.
It is god tier finish.
Yep.
Because it's executed perfectly. It looks disgusting. Like everything is
It was
timed.
like Shelton dies.
It's hard to time that. Like get that right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that's on Shelton, and it's god tier. The whole match is great. These are guys being super athletic and having a shit ton of fun, but it is god tier finish. It's just what it is. It's unbelievable to watch. And then even when it's happening, they're watching it like they replay it like 6 times. It's crazy.
It's one of those like Shelton does the springboard. He's in midair.
Mm-hmm.
And man, when Sean fucking hits him with it,
Yep.
and the crowd it's not even like they just that
Right.
kind of reaction.
He goes down. He sells it perfect, whether he wanted to or not. It buckles under.
JR on the call too. Perfect.
Yep. Absolutely awesome.
This is back when JR was still like, on his.
I know the
fucking
Bucks
game.
tried to redo it all those months ago, and it was fine. This is god tier finish. This is like wrestling magic. I love it.
I even love in the beginning where Sean like tries to mat wrestle Shelton, and Shelton's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And Sean's like, "Okay, better abandon that because I'm getting my ass handed to me here."
Yeah, definitely.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure.
And Shelton kicks so much ass. I had so much fun,
I had a lot of fun
watching these.
Me too.
Shelton's a guy who's super underappreciated.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was funny that like he just happened to have a match on Raw this week too.
It was good. He is.
I wonder if they're gonna get the Hurt Business back together.
I mean, it seems like it.
I would have loved that.
I thought the Hurt Business was great.
When they had that run during like pandemic stuff, man, were they awesome.
Shelton is not talked about enough, and an underrated tag guy. Even the stuff he was doing with Cedric this week, was good tag stuff.
Yeah.
He's an underrated tag team. People don't talk about him enough for his in-ring ability is amazing. He can do anything.
And Shelton during the Shaw match, he was the Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
It's a perfect belt for him.
Absolutely.
But he still should have got a run with the world.
He should have got a run with the world. If you win the Intercontinental, you got to have a run with the world.
Yeah.
I don't care how short it is. You got to do it. But yeah, just underrated all-timer tag team wrestler. And great singles wrestler too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so much great stuff. Impeccable timing, singles or tag. Just a ton of fun to watch. Dude, just this athletic, just
unbelievable,
monster.
man.
Yeah, for sure.
So for this week, we are going to kick it to one Mr. Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
Kofi's been in the goddamn WWE forever.
Right.
WWECW.
We're doing
guy.
only Kofi Jamaican matches.
I would love that. So the first match we're going to do is from December 13th, 2015 from TLC pay-per-view.
Okay.
A triple threat tag team ladder match. Big E and Kofi versus the Usos versus Kalisto and Sin Cara.
Okay.
I think we're going by the Lucha Dragons at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the Lucha Dragons. Okay. The second match we're going to watch, which I've admittedly never seen this, May 1st, 2013, an episode of WWE Main Event.
Yes. They have the main events on the network, I guess? Okay.
Yep. Kofi Kingston versus Antonio Cesaro.
Yes.
Old Mr. Two Names himself, Antonio
Cesaro.
And then the
highly rated, apparently. So,
dude, second highest rated match for Kofi.
Yeah. Interesting.
Number one highest rated match and the biggest moment of his career. From April 7th, 2019, WrestleMania 35.
Right.
Kofi versus Daniel Bryan for the world title.
Absolutely.
Excited to watch that.
Yeah.
Excited to relive that. I remember we watched it here at the house and, can't wait to watch it
As
again.
much as I love Dragon, I was so happy for
What
Kofi.
a run of Kofi, like the Kofi Mania stuff.
Yeah.
It happened by accident. Mm-hmm. Somebody got hurt, Kofi got put in, and crowd was like, why the fuck not Kofi?
Right, why not?
I'm excited to
absolutely
to watch all these again.
Yeah,
so.
super awesome. Excited for some Kofi stuff.
Yeah.
Kofi's great, even though the Mr. Royal Rumble is sort of left behind.
That's done, yeah.
Sadly.
We're over.
Sadly.
Did you buy anything this week?
I did.
Oh, boy. What'd you buy?
I got the Lucy red paint Great Muta.
Oh, yeah.
And the white costume Liger from one of my figgy groups.
Oh, okay.
$20 a pop, plus $5 shipping. Should be here Saturday.
Good.
couldn't pass up. I mean, those Mudas are going up too.
Yeah.
So I don't have that Muda. I don't have that Liger either.
It's a great
And
Muda.
that's a Liger you could mod that Liger because he wore that outfit when he tore off the mask to reveal Keishan Liger.
I would die for a Keishan Liger for a year.
But no, I have the guy also had one of the red Ligers available, but I have the Super 7 one or Storm Collectibles one, and that's such a good figure.
It's perfect.
I don't need any. I don't need another one.
It's actual perfection.
But the white costume I'll take, and then I that Muda I needed because it's NWA, it's teaming with Terry era, and I have a great Muda, but it's the NWO face paint one. Mm-hmm. So I have an interesting.
I needed the third one.
I have an interesting run of Keiji Muto, great Muto figures, which is I have the bronze babyface mulleted Keiji Muto, which I just bought because it wasn't a lot. But my Mutas, I now have red paint, NWO, Spider Muta, and the bald Keiji Muto. Yeah. So I got the run, all the best little, not necessarily the best attires. Just the Muta, masked Muta has so many cool fucking figures.
A ton.
But the sort of, the Spider Muta is very special to me because it's when I saw him wrestle. And so I got this little highlight reel of chronological Keiji Muto, if you will. But, and then I got the one where his thighs are all messed up and he can't walk. It's not true. That's him now.
How dare you? Sorry. I got my Japanese magazines in this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, man, they're so cool.
I don't think I bought anything else, though.
No.
Did you buy anything?
I bought, I think it's called Heel Turn is the brand.
Okay.
I bought a Muda shirt where, it says, forever on it, and it has a dagger going through 3 Muda heads.
Oh, that's cool.
It's, Spider Muda, black and white face paint Muda, and then Keiji Muto bald. Nice. And then I bought something last week I totally forgot, but I didn't bring them with me.
Oh.
So I'm going to show you. Hold on.
Okay. Did you buy the, I'm going to ask you a question while you're away from the microphone. Did you buy that Bret Hart Wrestling with Shadows Blu-ray?
Yeah, I mentioned it last week.
Oh, was that last week? I didn't think that came out last week.
Yeah. And then,
he's vamping. Everybody, he's out there. He's looking through pockets. Running. I don't even know what he bought. This would be amazing. He's hiding it from me. I'm not allowed to see it. It's a mystery. It's only a mystery.
I think Tim bought the Vinegar Syndrome too.
Like you and me.
So,
yeah.
I bought some cards.
Oh.
So
the dude, you have little penny sleeves too?
Yeah, so it came this way.
Nice.
Dude from Cheap Pop. Remember that store, Cheap Pop Shop?
Yeah.
I saw him put up in a story one day, he had cards.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, yeah, stuff, all these available or whatever. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, man. I was like, number one, when are you going to start printing shirts again? Because your designs are always the best.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse me. I was like, now anybody and their fucking mother thinks they could do cool bootlegs and charge a bunch of money. Yeah. And no. He just said, he goes, people are too fast and loose for me right now. He goes, I have a couple things. I bought that one Vader Muda shirt that he did. But yeah, there's some cards here. And
let me see, buddy.
You can go through them if you'd like and mention what,
So we got a BBM. I know what that stands for. 97. We are the Team NWO. You got Hiro Sato, Tenzan, Muda, and Chono in NWO shirts. That's nice. NWO Japan card. You got a Mudo and an NWO for life. That's crazy. They're all from the same series? Yeah, they are, I guess, huh? They're baseball magazine cards from 97.
Yep.
Oh, that's a killer. Look at the fake Sting behind Chono.
Yep.
And Tenzan, too. That's cool. That's crazy. Look at that Tenzan.
Yeah.
And fake Sting again.
Dude, a lot of Jeff Farmer. That's his name. I don't remember.
Oh, my God. Fucking Tenryu. Who's he fighting there?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
That's interesting. I don't recognize that guy with face paint at all.
Yeah.
That's weird. Huh. Oh, God. Aja Kong. That's cool.
That's a cool outfit, I thought, too.
Yeah, that's a great card.
Cool gear.
In the camo
street
pants.
Fight gear, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Akira Hakuto. That's cool. Oh, buddy. The FMW Terry Funk card. Oh, my God. 2 FMW Terry Funk cards. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. I look at this this FMW, the shiny one, all the time. Terry giving the little, ooh, Jesus, give him the little,
well, good, because those are yours.
Oh, buddy. These are awesome,
Those are yours.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
Of course, man.
And then we got another Terry putting a spinning toe hold on somebody.
Man, he's all bloody.
Oh, the headhunters are on the back.
Yeah.
With the NWA tag titles.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Saw those cards, and I'm like, they're yours, all right.
Oh, that's neat.
So...
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. I like getting some Japanese stuff when I can. So I saw them.
That's awesome.
They were super fucking cheap.
I'm sure.
So I was
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god, did you see little young man Onita on the back of this?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's all my purchases.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
So that's all I got, pal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. More Terry Funk to add to the shrine.
See, hey, if I see anything like I come across it, I'm like, okay, you'll like.
Absolutely.
I get it for you.
I have a new goal that I never.
What's your goal?
It's going to cost me so much money. I want to look into, and I'm sure it's easy to find, and they're out there because I've seen a bunch of them. I want to get the kayfabe wrestling magazines that are covering Funk Flair from '89.
That would be
Just get
sick.
everything that came out during the whole feud, and
That
have
would
it
be awesome.
chronicled in the old kayfabe mags.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, buddy. What
That
else?
that would rock.
Did you see that fucking Shingo from Junk Shop?
Yeah,
It's really cool. It's really cool. It looks really good. It's one of his best looking figs.
it is. I agree.
But all right. That it?
That's all I got, man.
All right, pal. Let's get out of here then, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been We Need Wrestling. You can find us at WeNeedWrestling.com. We're on Podbean and Spotify and all those other happy places. You can email the show at WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com. Twitter at WeNeedWrestling. Instagram at WeNeedWrestling. Not that we do a bunch of posting because it's more of a fucking cesspool than ever out there. But
Yeah, I don't do much.
But, spread the word. Tell a friend, telephone, cell phone. Is that how that works? We're a proud member of the Soon to Be Named Network at STBN Network on Twitter, soontobenamednetwork.com, soontobenamednetwork.tumblr.com. A bunch of other shows, At Odds with Wrestling, Long Box. We have a fancy new website.
Oh, yeah, very fancy. Done with a fancy gentleman.
Yeah. What did I say? At Odds with Wrestling, Long Box Heroes After Dark, our other podcast, Wings on Wangs. Jesus Christ. Hit My Music. I think the wiki teased that coming back. Puzzle Warriors 3. Profane Argument. The exclusive limited series No Chance in Helmet.
Interesting.
Maybe something else.
I would like to hear their XFL special.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Just throwing it out
Right,
there. It's back, baby.
right,
I want them to run through the original XFL too.
Ooh.
The Memphis Maniacs.
There you go.
Spelled with an X.
Yeah, or this season, the Brahmas, because that's not Rock stroking his own
The
fucking
Orlando
ego.
Rage.
Isn't the USFL coming back or something too?
Yeah, they're back this year. Philadelphia Stars. They were back last year too.
So do them too. What are you doing? Slacking.
boys. Let's
fucking,
go.
You call yourself football fans?
Yeah.
You fucking slackers.
Hurry up, boys.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I hit all the plugs. We'll be back next week talking more wrestling.
Yeah, I leave you with this. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Ooh.
On the road to victory.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!